Chapter 2861. The Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall had a great influence within the myriad Tao Mausoleum. Feng Shui Nan told him that many people obtained a strong power because of the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall. For example, the Natural Law Divine Lord back in the day, because he had studied the cultivation methods of the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall, he had become stronger, and after entering the White Bones Imperial, his strength had increased by leaps and bounds, becoming one of the top 10 White Bone Kings. Many famous rankers in the myriad Tao Mausoleum had benefited from the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall before, and many of them had ordinary aptitudes to begin with. However, after comprehending the contents of the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall, they had become extremely strong overnight, killing those who had mocked him before. All of these miracles that had truly happened made many people want to go to the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall no matter what. As a result, all sorts of battles happened all the time, resulting in many people dying miserable deaths. Chen Shang had already flown above the shore of the Rainbow River for 2 days now. At this time, he was still very far from the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall and thus, he was unable to use his spatial energy. At night, when Chen Shang was flying, he suddenly saw a little purple light in front of him. He saw purple in the colorful forest. The first place was the Purple Blood Man. Purple Blood Man was very strong, especially when they could fly in the air. Those that could fly were usually at least at the Tai Zun realm level, and only a few respected 6 God stage were able to use flying Dao veins to fly in the air. Could it be the Purple Blood Man? I have to be careful. Chen Shang also did not dare to go closer. He even slowed down his speed to keep a distance from those purple spots of light. Now that he had not been discovered, he could no longer guarantee if he got a little closer. If he met an extremely powerful Purple Blood Man, and was discovered, they would be able to fly over at an extremely fast speed. Chen Shang could not use teleportation, and it would be extremely dangerous by then. Could it be that they want to go to the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall as well? This is not a good thing. Chen Shang had currently run into the Purple Blood Man, his strength was limited, he did not want to be injured again, and then recover for more than 10 years. This was truly a waste of time. We can only talk after we reach the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall. They still won't be able to discover me. Chen Shang became even more careful. Ever since he raised his cultivation to the peak of the late stage of 6 God stage, the moment he used the counter power to hide himself, it was even more difficult to be discovered. He was sure that even if it was the Lanhong Dao Priestess, it would still be very difficult to detect him. These bastards, when I get stronger, I will definitely take care of them one by one. Chen Shang hated Purple Blood Man very much. Back then, that purple-haired man gave him a palm strike for no reason and seriously injured him. At that time, he had felt himself to be an ant that could not be resisted. Recalling that experience, he wished that he could find the purple-haired man and ruthlessly trample him. Chen Shang followed for 5 days, and was finally about to fly out of the colorful forest. Outside the colorful forest was an extremely desolate place, and there were large, bald, stone mountains everywhere. Upon entering the area, Chen Shang immediately felt a bitter aura of death rush towards him. How many people had died in this place when there was so much aura of death? Feeling the threatening death aura, Chen Shang knew that the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall was getting closer. At that time, even he himself did not know how dangerous it would be. Sensing the death aura that had settled in, Chen Shang broke out in a cold sweat. He knew that he would die here as well, hence his resentment would turn into death aura and precipitate in here. After the Rainbow River entered this area, it was still as clear as ever. There were no rainbow fish in the river, but there were many bones deep within the river. As Chen Shang flew across the surface of the river, he could see many bones at the bottom of the river. They were actually piled full up at the bottom, which made Chen Zhang's scalp go numb. This myriad Dao mausoleum is really a mausoleum, there are dead people everywhere. When Chen Shang flew past a mountain, he saw that the surface of the mountain was filled with white skulls. Many of the huge mountains in the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall were formed from white bones, now Chen Shang believed it. Following that, not only did Chen Shang discover that there were a lot of bones in the gigantic mountain, there were also a large amount of bones in the ground. Not only were there bones of humans, there were also various types of bones in the beasts, but they were all covered by a thick layer of soil. Terrifying. Chen Shang no longer looked down. If he continued like this, it would affect his condition. He had never felt this sort of inexplicable fear before. In the afternoon, the sun was scorching the ground, causing the death aura to become even more oppressive, causing Chen Shang to be unable to endure the pressure, finding it hard to breathe. Under the sultry atmosphere, the cold wind suddenly blew, making Chen Shang feel cool. He secretly praised in his heart, but just as he was praising, the purple blood man in front of him suddenly stopped. Purple Blood Clan, you should know that this is the White Bones Imperial's territory. You guys are not giving us any face by coming in so majestically. Hearing that, Chen Zhang's heart trembled. This place was actually the White Bones Imperial. Previously, Feng Shui Nan didn't tell him that the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall was inside the White Bones Imperial. We are only flying above the Rainbow River, this does not belong to your White Bones Imperial. Furthermore, you should be well aware of our goal. The voice that came out was very familiar to Chen Shang. It was the purple-haired man that took Lan Hong Dao priest away earlier. Chen Shang was still quite a distance from the group of people in front of him. Their bodies were shining with a purple light, making it impossible to see their appearances clearly. However, he saw that the person from the White Bones Imperial was actually a very large skeletal man. He was walking out from the ground, and there were also many small skeletal men behind him with snow-white long blades in his hands. This skeletal man was very big, at least as tall as 3 ordinary people. The bones on her body was gray, her eyes had 2 golden eyeballs, and they emitted a golden light. It was obvious that this giant skeletal man was very strong. You guys are also joining in on the liveliness of the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall. Now that the Leader S, Hall Masters and Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable S are all there, it's hard to say if you will be able to come back alive. Although he wanted to kill a skeleton, his voice was still quite pleasant to hear. You don't have to worry so much. In short, we didn't cause any trouble on your territory. Since we're on our way, we won't talk to you any longer. After the violet-haired man finished speaking, he began to fly away. Chen Shang did not fly with him. He waited until the giant skeletal man drilled into the ground before he carefully took note of it. The 4 great divine sects was still inside, which made him feel a lot more at ease. Chapter 2862. Chen Shang could no longer see the purple blood man, but the presence they left behind was still floating above the Rainbow River. Chen Shang increased his speed and flew above the Rainbow River. He was already impatient to head to the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall. Knowing that the 4 great divine sects were all at the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall's side, Chen Shang felt more relaxed. This way, when he went to the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall, it would be much safer. When he was in Heavenly Alchemy Divine Sect, he had gained quite a bit of fame. The Heavenly Alchemy Divine Sect's leader would definitely recognize him, and he felt that the Heavenly Alchemy Divine Sect's leader would take care of him at that time. The White Bones Imperial was filled with bones, as if everyone in this vast world had died here. Why is the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall in the White Bones Imperial? From beginning to end, Chen Shang could not believe that all of the people here had died because of the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall. In the White Bones Imperial, any random digging could dig out a human head, it was simply filled with white bones. Chen Shang increased his speed and flew. Half a day later, he suddenly saw a piece of green land in front of him. From time to time, there would be the cries of birds. When they got close, they could smell the strong scent of life, full of vitality, which was out of place for the death aura in the White Bones Imperial. The Rainbow River was also precisely flowing into this oasis. Could the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall be inside? Chen Shang looked at the 4 directions outside the oasis. There were many short mountains, and these short mountains were also piled with many white bones. Forget it, let's go in and take a look. Chen Shang flew above the Rainbow River and quickly entered the oasis. The moment he entered the oasis, he felt that the entire oasis seemed to be covered by a barrier. However, the barrier didn't have any special power, it was just a faint aura. What is the use of this spirit formation? Chen Shang was free to enter and exit at this time, there weren't any restrictions on the barrier. Only after entering the oasis did he find out the use of the enchantment. The enchantment could only stop the death aura outside, and at the same time, it also released a dense life force to nourish the oasis and enliven it. The 2 banks of the river were the most beautiful, with all kinds of beautiful flowers and herbs. As dusk approached, the flowers and plants here shot out beautiful lights, causing the previously clear river to become colorful. For a Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall to stay in such a beautiful place, Chen Shang was very familiar with it. He had previously heard that the surrounding area of the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall was filled with corpses. Late at night, Chen Shang was flying in the forest. In front of him, he could see a weak golden light and a faint heavenly alchemy immortal power coming from it, causing his entire body to tremble. The heavenly alchemy stone wall was right in front of them. When he got closer, he saw many people along with the heavenly alchemy stone wall. The heavenly alchemy stone wall was not that big, it was like the mountain walls of a small mountain, and that small mountain was only the size of an ordinary house. The only lush green thing on this small mountain was a bare mountain wall, and the bare mountain wall was currently glowing with a golden light. To be exact, the reason why the stone wall could emit light was because the two words, heavenly refining, were glowing. The heavenly alchemy stone wall's mountain was located on a prairie, but no one approached the prairie. On the contrary, many people were currently sitting cross-legged on the ground outside the prairie, staring at the small mountain. Are they all comprehending the heavenly alchemy inside the heavenly alchemy stone wall? Chen Shang slowly descended to the ground. He realized that the people here were all very harmonious, and there weren't any conflicts. He searched for the group of purple blood man in the crowd and quickly found them. These purple blood manes were all standing at the edge of the grassland, seemingly discussing something. What are they going to do? Chen Shang saw that some of the people had also stood up, staring angrily at the group of purple blood man. Chen Shang watched from the side and suddenly saw the heavenly alchemy divine sect standing up. He had also sat down on the ground and started to comprehend the heavenly alchemy seriously. Blood Violet clan, behave yourselves. Heavenly alchemy sect leader shouted in a low voice and walked over. After all, he was a leader of the heavenly alchemy divine sect. As he cultivated in the heavenly alchemy, everyone there would be respectful towards him. Even though you are a leader of the heavenly alchemy divine sect, the heavenly alchemy stone wall is not yours. What do you want me to do? The purple-haired man sneered, we are going to go in now and destroy the heavenly alchemy stone wall. With that, the few powerful purple blood man turned into a red light and rushed towards the heavenly alchemy stone wall. You bunch of idiots, our heavenly alchemy stone wall so easy to destroy? The heavenly alchemy sect leader did not stop him and stood there sneering. Boom. After the few purple blood manes rushed over, their strong powers struck the heavenly alchemy stone wall, but it only caused a loud explosion. On the other hand, the heavenly alchemy stone wall did not sustain any damage. The most terrifying thing was that the berserk power unleashed by these powerful purple blood manes were actually all absorbed by the heavenly alchemy stone wall. Long before this batch of purple blood manes, there had been many people who had attacked the heavenly alchemy stone wall, and the results were the same, unable to shake this mysterious and powerful heavenly alchemy stone wall. Chen Shang was curious, all of the purple blood manes were only at Supreme Realm, with the strongest being at late period of Taizun Realm, while the heavenly alchemy sect leaders were at the Ancestor Realm, so the purple blood manes were not even afraid of the heavenly alchemy sect leaders. How exactly do you want to comprehend the heavenly alchemy stone wall? Let me take a closer look. Chen Shang looked at the word, heavenly refining, on the heavenly alchemy stone wall. What shocked him was, even though the purple blood man were continuously attacking the heavenly alchemy stone wall, the word, heavenly refining, could still clearly be seen from the start. As long as he stared at the two words on the stone wall, everything else would disappear. Right now, he could no longer see the purple blood man, nor the mountain, nor the lush green grassland. He could no longer see the people around him. Boom. Suddenly, the word, heavenly refining, exploded in front of Chen Zhang's eyes, causing him to come back to his senses. He looked around, then looked at the heavenly alchemy stone wall, and saw that everything was exactly the same. Comprehension failed. Chen Shang took a deep breath and asked Mei Jing sisters. Only then did he find out that 10 days had passed. There were more and more people surrounding the grassland, and there were also some people in the grassland. There were more than 10 purple blood manes and heavenly alchemy sect leaders inside. What are they doing? Chen Shang immediately asked a sober old man beside him. The revered ancestors of the purple blood clan have come. I wonder what kind of madness they are going through to destroy the heavenly alchemy stone wall, but they did not succeed. Heavenly alchemy sect leader will go and stop them now. The old man said, these guys are really full. The purple blood clan's ancestor was a purple-haired old man. He was very tall and thin, and a huge ball of purple light condensed in his hand. Enough. If you want to destroy the heavenly alchemy stone wall, don't you want to make the other low-leveled races stronger because of the heavenly alchemy stone wall? How laughable, to actually enslave another blood-colored race for a lifetime. The heavenly alchemy stone wall are unable to be destroyed, and doing so would be useless. Quote. Heavenly Alchemy sect leader's body shook, he opened his palm and a small golden bell appeared. After the small bell rang, a berserk Heavenly Alchemy immortal power shook the bell, shaking the entire world. Chapter 2863. The Heavenly Refining Leader was already angry, as the Heavenly Refining Divine sects, being in charge of protecting the Heavenly Refining Stone Wall was one of his duties. The people in front of him continuously attacked the Heavenly Refining Stone Wall, and he could no longer tolerate it. The updates were quick. "You bunch of bastards, I can only beat you up to make you listen to me." After the Heavenly Sword Leader finished speaking, the little bell in his hand flew out and floated in the air. The small bell continued to shake, and then it suddenly became extremely huge, as if it was a huge mountain floating above the stone wall. Dong, dong. When the divine refining tool was shaking, it released waves of terrifying sound waves. That wave of vibrating power pierced through the barrier of the stone wall. When many people heard this, they felt as if their heads were about to shatter and were in incomparable pain. Chen Shang immediately released his divine might to protect himself, but was shaken by the sound and felt no pain at all. Everyone present quickly used their power to stop the sound from attacking his divine sense. And the grassland enveloped by the sound wave was the most terrifying, especially the purple blood man inside. Even if they were late period of Tai Zun realm S, after being hit by the sound wave, they all spat out blood and fell to the ground. Only the purple blood man with a revered cultivation could withstand it, and it was extremely strenuous. Chen Shang suddenly realized something strange. Although the Heavenly Refining Leader did not release his Tao energy, his Heavenly Refining Divine Bell was supported by an extremely strong wave of Heavenly Refining Tao energy. Otherwise, if they were similarly revered ancestors, the ancestor of the purple blood man wouldn't have been suppressed like this. Chen Shang looked at the Heavenly Smelting Stone Wall and suddenly understood. At this time, the Heavenly Smelting Stone Wall was giving the Heavenly Smelting Leader's divine tool a huge amount of Heavenly Smelting Tao power. And the Heavenly Refining Leader only controlled the bell to attack the purple blood man below. At this moment, many people began to retreat. The sound of the bell ringing was too terrifying, and it was difficult for them to resist. They could only stay far away from this place. Such battles frequently occurred on the stone wall, so they weren't surprised at all. If they didn't leave by then, they would definitely be killed. Although everyone was far away from the prairie, they could still see the Heavenly Refining Leader attacking the purple blood man. The Grand Elder's cultivation level was not his opponent at all, so he could not even withstand a single blow. If not for the ancestor-level purple blood man helping them withstand the sonic wave, they would have been crushed into pieces by the sonic wave right now. Chen Shang was still at the side of the prairie. After he used divine might to protect his body, that sound wave did not have any effect on him. He was surprised to find that even if he got a little closer, there was no problem. "This bastard, here's my chance to kill you." Chen Shang looked at the purple-haired man who was kneeling on the ground. Previously, the purple-haired man had given him a ruthless slap. Chen Shang suddenly flew in, shocking them. What was even worse, after Chen Shang came in, he rushed towards the purple-haired man at an extremely fast speed, and swung his sword towards the purple-haired man's neck. He was even using the god-slaying sword technique. No one had expected that a fellow would suddenly appear and unleash such a sharp attack, instantly decapitating the purple-haired man. After the purple-haired man was beheaded, he lost the power to resist the sound wave. His body and head were instantly turned into mist by the wild sound released by the bell. Chen Shang, although he had never spoken to Chen Shang before, he knew about Chen Zhang's existence. The fact that Chen Shang was able to resist the powerful sound waves coming in caused many people to be shocked. Even if it was your ancestor, it was not easy to perfectly kill him as if he was a fish in water. Chen Shang smiled at the Heavenly Refining Leader, and in a flash, he arrived in front of Supreme Elder Zi Shui. Was not even far from being a sovereign right now, and his strength was still too weak. If he entered, he would not be able to harm Supreme Purple Blood in the slightest. Little bastard! Supreme Violet Blood Ancestor was furious. As he roared, his body flashed with purple light and a beam of light suddenly shot out from his head. It struck the divine bell floating above him, producing a loud clanging sound as the bell was also sent flying by the purple light. Not only did a little kid kill his disciple, he even wanted to kill him. He used all his strength and sent the bell flying, then smashed it towards Chen Shang. Was stunned by the force. His entire body could not move, as though his body was being pressed down by the sky, causing him to almost fall flat on the ground. "This is bad," Seeing that, the heavenly sword leader appeared in front of Chen Shang in a flash, and used his fist to blast away the huge palm covered in purple light from the ancestor. Ruua. The moment the fist and the palm collided, a purple gold light exploded. That wave blew away all the trees in the surroundings. Even those who had run far away were blown away. Hurry up, the heavenly refining leader shouted to Chen Shang. This guy is already angry, he's not easy to deal with. Chen Shang immediately flew towards the heavenly smelting stone wall, while the other purple blood man-s immediately followed. The heavenly refining leader hastily summoned the heavenly refining divine bell back, otherwise he would not be able to suppress the purple blood ancestor at all. After being enraged, Purple Blood Lord had already planned to go all out, to fight the heavenly refining leader at all costs. Chen Shang had killed his disciple right in front of his eyes, he absolutely could not let this go, he had to kill Chen Shang no matter what. Even though he had fallen into a state of berserk fury, he did not go insane. At this time, he was still very rational, he wanted to take advantage of the chance of the divine bell being blown away to delay the heavenly refining leader, and then let the other purple blood man-s go kill Chen Shang. When Chen Shang barged in earlier, he had felt the strange divine might of the heavenly refining stage from Chen Zhang's body. This was definitely not an ordinary person, moreover, the heavenly refining leader was extremely concerned about Chen Shang, so he had to destroy Chen Shang no matter what. The heavenly refining leader had also seen through his plan, he was currently being held back by Supreme Violet Blood Ancestor and was unable to escape. He also could not understand why Chen Shang would want to go to the wall of heavenly smelting stone, it was not a good place to go. Chen Shang had already rushed to the front of the heavenly smelting stone wall, but he was blocked by the stone wall. A few purple blood man-s behind him started to attack as well, as countless balls of purple light shot out. Chen Shang immediately channeled all his heavenly refining Dao power and released waves after waves of heavenly refining divine power. In that instant, his heavenly refining divine power reached its limit, causing the heavenly refining leader and supreme purple blood ancestor to be extremely shocked. Just as the countless balls of purple light were about to hit him, the words, heavenly refining, on the wall suddenly flashed, the flickering gold light completely destroyed the balls of purple light, and Chen Shang also disappeared without a trace as the two words flashed. He was sucked in. When an old man from the Taizun realm saw this from afar, he cried out in shock. Although it was a mess just now, there was still someone who could see Chen Shang entering the heavenly smelting stone wall. There was actually a space inside the wall, no one knew how he entered it. Everyone was very curious, what kind of secrets would Chen Shang obtain after entering? Back then, Chen Shang had already formed an unfathomable connection with the heaven smelting stone wall, and at that time, he had an extremely strong feeling that the stone wall could be entered. When he got near it, he released the divine might of the heaven smelting stone, only then would he be sure that he could enter the stone wall as long as his body continued to possess the divine might of the heaven smelting chi. That was why he was able to rush to the stone wall at an extremely fast speed. Chapter 2864. After Chen Shang entered the heavenly alchemy stone wall, he thought that he would receive a great harvest. Just when he was extremely excited, he felt a piercing pain all over his body. Access. He looked around him. Right now he was in a sea of fire of heavenly alchemy power, and the divine flames here had all sorts of colors, the golden divine flames in them forming long trails. When he walked along this path, the pain was much less. It hurts. Chen Shang did not take a single step forward, as wave after wave of burning heat entered his body from the bottom of his feet and then rushed up to his head, causing him to almost faint. He only took a dozen steps, and knelt on the ground while holding his head. Even though he had previously suffered from many kinds of painful experiences and torments, he still couldn't bear the piercing pain brought by this heavenly alchemy immortal power. This kind of piercing pain would cause him to die and he would collapse. He could only retreat a little at this moment. As he retreated, there would also be pain. However, he did not move forward like he usually did. He looked at the golden light screen behind him. That should be the door that led to his exit. The great Tao of heavenly refining A. Chen Shang looked at the four words that appeared in front of him and grinded his teeth. It's a pity that I don't have enough strength to advance right now. I will definitely come back. I will definitely walk all the way to the end. Chen Shang could only plan to leave first and try to increase his own strength again. If he went over right now, he would definitely die. Chen Shang had no choice but to withdraw at this moment. After some torture, Chen Shang finally fell out of the heavenly alchemy stone wall, and at this time, he was already covered in wounds. The moment he came out, Heavenly Alchemy sect leader immediately flew over, picked him up and placed him into the golden bell. Chen Shang did not know what had happened outside after he had entered the Heavenly Alchemy stone wall, but his current injuries were extremely serious and he had fallen into a deep sleep. It was unknown how long Chen Shang slept for, but when he woke up, he discovered that his wounds had completely healed. He was lying on a stone bed, on top of a mountain cave. Just as Chen Shang stood up, he saw a middle-aged man wearing golden clothes walking over. "Leader," Chen Shang anxiously shouted. The Heavenly Alchemy sect leader chuckled, then said to Chen Shang, "There's no need to get up, continue resting. You have at least just recovered from your injuries, but your spirit isn't too good yet. After I entered the Heavenly Alchemy stone wall, what happened outside?" Chen Shang asked. "Then did you kill Reverend Bloodviolet?" "I can't kill him. He's the same as me, also at the early stage of the ancestor realm. It would be very difficult to kill him. Fortunately the other 3 divine sects came and chased him away. I waited for you outside for 10 days. Heavenly Alchemy sect leader said. "What did you see inside the Heavenly Alchemy stone wall?" "I went in for 10 days. Chen Shang was extremely shocked. He felt that he had not even been inside for an hour, and 10 days had already passed since he had entered outside. "I saw a great path of heavenly refining inside, but I could not reach the end. I only walked about 10 steps and I was injured to this extent." Chen Shang sighed. After Chen Shang had fainted from his injuries, the Heavenly Alchemy sect leader had already checked on his body. Chen Zhang's body could be said to be extremely strong. Although he was only at the peak of the late stage of 6 God stage, it was very difficult to find someone at the same level with a body like his. Even if it was a lot of early stage true sovereign realm cultivators, they could only be slightly stronger than Chen Shang. Even so, Chen Shang still suffered such heavy injuries. Then told Heavenly Alchemy sect leader about the situation of the Heavenly Refining Great Tao in detail. So the legend is true. There really is a great Tao of Heaven's refinement inside the Heavenly Alchemy stone wall. After listening, Heavenly Alchemy sect leader sighed, but to reach the end of the Heavenly Refining Great Tao is extremely difficult. Not only is it difficult, it's deadly. Chen Shang shook his head and sighed, "Am I still in Myriad Tao Mausoleum? When the time comes, we will be able to leave. With your current situation, it would be best for you to return to Flying Dragon Pagoda to cultivate for a while. Although there are many strong fellows in Myriad Tao Mausoleum, it is not suitable for cultivation." The Heavenly Alchemy sect leader said. Chen Shang also had this plan. After returning to the Flying Dragon Pagoda, if he succeeded in his cultivation, he would try to cultivate it there. Once he entered the Heavenly Refining Great Tao, he would have more power to deal with it. Although he was afraid of the Great Tao, at the same time, he had a strong sense of conquest. The more he wanted to conquer something that terrified him, the more he needed to conquer something, and that was the only way to overcome his fear. What about the Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable? Didn't he also come in? Why did he come in? Chen Shang was also very worried about Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable. He knew that Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable was very strong. Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable is trapped inside. He should not be able to leave. Of course, it would be hard to say if he had past Flying Dragon experience places practical experience. Heavenly Alchemy sect leader laughed. This guy is currently heading to Flying Dragon Ghost Realm to find his old enemy. The Flying Dragon Ghost Realm must be filled with dragons. Chen Shang heaved a sigh of relief. Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable being unable to leave this heaven prison was indeed a good thing. That's right, they are all powerful dragons. Most of them were attracted by the various legends in the Myriad Tao Mausoleum, so they are unable to leave. Heavenly Alchemy sect leader laughed. Generally speaking, as long as a person with an evil power comes in, it will be very difficult for them to escape. Unless there is the slightest error on the part of the Myriad Tao Mausoleum, then they will be able to let a large group of dragon demons escape. Also, it is very difficult for someone with the cultivation of Venerable Ancestor later stage to come out, and our Heavenly Alchemy Venerable Ancestor only had a mid-stage ancestor back then. It would be very difficult for him to come out. The Heaven Prison was used to restrain some super strong warriors. We have been in here for quite some time. I wonder how is Flying Dragon Pagoda doing now. There are a lot of dragon demons up there. Chen Shang said. Without the Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable, those dragon demons won't be able to make the weather. Right now, all 4 of us leader are inside, so we don't need to worry about the situation outside. That's why we plan on cultivating inside. Heavenly Alchemy sect leader took out a pellet and gave it to Chen Shang. Eat it, it will help recover your spirit. After Chen Shang ate it, he immediately felt the benefits of the medicine's power, and his spirit became much better. Heavenly Alchemy Sect Leader, have you heard of Natural Law Divine Lord? Chen Shang thought about it and asked. Of course I've heard of him. He's very famous now, but he's one of the 10 great bone kings of White Bones Imperial, and is very powerful. I'm not his match, Heavenly Alchemy Sect Leader said, but he will never be able to leave this place. I heard that he controls another world. Yes, he controls the natural law world. I came from that world. Chen Shang said, I want to take back the natural law world from him, so that he won't be messed up. Chapter 2865. The refining leader had a rather good understanding of the situation. He would often enter the Myriad Tao Mausoleum and get to know quite a few of his friends. Access. It's true that he's in control of the world of the Tao, but for now, he won't dare to do anything to the world of the Tao for a short period of time. The world of the Tao is a part of his power. As long as it isn't a threat to him, he definitely won't destroy it. The leader said, but in the future, it will be difficult. Because he has to control a world, and if the world is not stable, he will have to transfusion his own blood. At that time, it will be a burden for him. What if it becomes his burden? What are the consequences of the Tao world? Chen Shang asked anxiously. If it became his burden, he would definitely find a way to abandon the world of the Tao. At the same time, he would destroy the world of the Tao. The refining leader thought for a moment, then told Chen Shang, because this kind of result was not what Chen Shang wanted to hear, and it would cause a lot of psychological pressure for Chen Shang. The world of the Tao is his world, after all. He won't let anyone get their hands on his destruction. But of course, the prerequisite for destruction was that the world of the Tao was useless. If the Tao world was still valuable, he would definitely drain the Tao world's energy. This would be a form of destruction for the Tao world. Quote. After hearing what leader had to say, Chen Zhang's heart felt incredibly heavy. He really wanted to return to the Tao world to see how it was doing right now. Don't worry, he's the White Bone King right now. If the Tao world is always in a stable state, he won't make a move. The refined leader patted on Chen Zhang's shoulder. Right now you need to focus on raising your cultivation, do not be disturbed. If you, f*ck, too much, it might have a negative impact on your mental state. I know, leader, when are we going to return to Flying Dragon Pagoda? Chen Shang was in a hurry to go back, because he would never be able to cultivate in peace in Myriad Tao Mausoleum. Soon, within 10, the leader said, you must have obtained some rewards from entering the Myriad Tao Mausoleum, right? S harvest was indeed not good. He obtained many life law beads and hundreds of billions of Tao crystal, and even killed this annoying fellow, Zhao Kungsan. No, Chen Shang smiled. He would not tell the alchemist leader about him killing Zhao Kungsan, although he did not have a good reputation there. After you go back, are you going to go back to refine divine sects, or are you going to go back to the six? The refining leader knew the conflict between Chen Shang and the Zhao clan. Let's return to the divine sects first, I have friends there. Although Chen Shang was viewed with hostility by the Zhao clan, the great clan elders still treated him extremely well. Furthermore, the Master Wang was also currently inside the refining leader had brought him out of the White Bones Imperial, followed the seven-colored river, passed through the colorful forest, and finally arrived at a large canyon. After passing through the Great Canyon, you will reach the Divine Ghost Imperial country. The great doors of the Myriad Tao Mausoleum have always been opened by the Divine Ghost Imperial country. The refined leader said, the main reason why the Divine Ghost Imperial country is here is to obtain a large number of Tao crystal, so we will think of a way to open the big doors of the Myriad Tao Mausoleum at regular intervals and let a large number of Tao crystal come in. The time ghost that Chen Shang had met before entering the stone room had consumed quite a lot of his Tao crystal. If you are unlucky, you will accidentally enter the colorful forest or the White Bones Imperial, which is not a safe place. If you do not have enough strength, you will die if you leave the Divine Ghost Imperial country. The refining leader brought Chen Shang through the canyon and entered a huge black-colored palace. Arriving at the palace, Chen Shang saw many familiar wide paths. Accompanied by the refined leader, Chen Shang left the Myriad Tao Mausoleum, and returned to the primordial transmission array, returning to the 1,000 floors of the Flying Dragon Pagoda. Although he could safely return during this trip, Chen Shang was still very suspicious. The Myriad Tao Divine Tablets formation he refined did not seem to have any effect. Previously, he had heard that this Myriad Tao Divine Tablets formation was a key, but what exactly did this key open? There was someone who could open up the many tombs inside. Chen Shang did not know how to use them. Myriad Tao Mausoleum will open it from time to time. When the time comes, 4 great divine sects will also know about it. The leader brought Chen Shang to the island where the great clan elder was at. When the great clan elder saw Chen Shang coming back, he was extremely agitated. He was worried that something bad had happened to Chen Shang since Chen Shang had already been missing for more than 10 years. The refining leader and the great clan elder chatted for a while before they left the island. Great clan elder, how is Master Wang now? Chen Shang laughed. Has he recovered yet? Just as he finished, Master Wang walked out from the house and laughed. Ghost, I'm almost recovered. I can concoct pills now. Master Wang, you are still so fine. Chen Shang walked over and laughed. Soon after, Chen Shang and the 2 old men started talking about the things that happened inside the Myriad Tao Mausoleum. When the great clan elder found out that Chen Shang went to the refining stone wall, he was extremely shocked. In truth, the great clan elder's strength was still considered strong. After all, he was a late period of Taizun realm. If he was at that time, Chen Shang would not have been treated like that by the Lan Hong Dao priest, and might not even be able to beat the purple-haired man. However, the Supreme Realm cultivators in the middle of Myriad Tao Mausoleum all had some strange powers. For example, the spatial strength of the Lan Hong Dao priest was extremely terrifying. The Lan Hong Dao priest had secretly snuck into the divine ghost imperial country, and even placed many of the 6 gods stage S into his own divine sense sea world. That strange blue profound sea was playing a killing game inside, so he was very clear on Chen Zhang's every move. It's just that the Lan Hong Dao priest was taken away. Chen Shang guessed that the Lan Hong Dao priest would become a slave if he was taken back. Master Wang, I am now at the peak of the late stage of 6 gods stage. How can I step into the Taizun realm? Is there any miraculous elixir or medicine? Chen Shang asked. The peak of the late stage of 6 gods stage. If you want to achieve the unity of the 6 gods, then you will be able to cultivate the 6 souls and you will be able to step into the Taizun realm. The Master Wang said, this is not easy. The 6 gods unity already requires the user to continuously use their own powerful Tao energy to control the fusion of the 6 Yuan God, but they also need a certain amount of comprehension to allow the 6 Yuan God to complete the final fusion. Many people have tried it 1,000 times, but they were unable to succeed. Why can't I succeed? Chen Shang had also tried it before, and it truly was not a success. Even though he could need all the 6 Yuan God together, it could not fuse together in the end, and once it was absorbed by Tao energy, the 6 Yuan God would immediately disperse and return to its original state. Chapter 2866. No, no one knows. The great elder shook his head. Therefore, it's not reliable that we can use the elixir to complete the final fusion. Not really. Master Wang laughed heartily. Medicinal pills are useful, but this kind of medicinal pill is hard to find and is not easy to refine. When I accidentally obtained a pill formula that I thought was left behind by my ancestor during the primal era, it would be beneficial for me to enter the Taizun realm. Quote, it will help you enter the Taizun realm, but I can't guarantee that you will definitely be able to do so. The great elder shook his head. There are many of these in the market, but I think they are all lies. For example, the 6th Profound Dan that was previously refined by Chen Shang, it was a pill that guaranteed the peak of the late period of 3 Profound Realm to step into the 6 gods stage. That's right. The pill recipe that I obtained, I am not sure if I can guarantee entering the Taizun realm, but it is rather interesting, and the difficulty of refining it is extremely high. Although it is only a middle-ranked Taizun Dan, the difficulty of refining it is much higher than a high-ranked Taizun Dan. In my opinion, this is just a high-ranked Taizun Dan, or even a high-ranked Taizun Dan. Master Wang's words also made Great Elder curious. Great Elder was also a supreme pill god. Master Wang, this pill recipe of yours? The Great Elder asked curiously. This kind of pill is called the Wazun Dan, and it requires a lot of ingredients to grow. The maturation cycle is the same as the middle-grade supreme medicinal herbs, so it is classified as a middle-grade Taizun Dan. Master Wang said. Chen Shang was overjoyed, and asked urgently, then Master Wang, do you have medicinal ingredients? Of course there is. I have searched for this medicinal ingredient for many years and finally found it. Master Wang took out 2 jade boxes and gave them to Chen Shang and the great clan elder respectively, saying, there aren't many ingredients required, only 3 of them. Chen Shang received the jade box, and when he opened it, he saw 3 fruits inside. All 3 fruits were very special, each fruit had 2 different colors, which meant that the 3 fruits had 6 different colors. Chen Shang picked up a fruit that was a mixture of white and black color. After looking at it carefully, he could feel that there were 2 types of energy inside it, and these 2 types of energy were mutually exclusive. In addition to the black and white fruits, there were also the purple, gold and red and blue fruits. There were 2 types of energy that repelled each other, but they both grew together to form the same fruit. This was indeed very strange. When refining pills, one needs to refine these medicinal ingredients, and then fuse all of the medicinal ingredients into one. The Master Wang said, and once the 6 fruits in your hands are refined, the energy that rejects each other will come out. At that time, it would be extremely difficult to fuse the 6 fruits again, because the 6 energies are mutually exclusive. Chen Shang had previously refined a type of medicinal pill in the same situation, and that was the Yin-Yang 9 Inverse Divine Pill. At that time, there were only 2 types of repulsive powers, but now, they were all mutually exclusive. From the sound of it, it was obvious that it would be difficult to refine. Is there really no way at all? Chen Shang used the Tao Heart Eye to look through the inner workings of the medicinal ingredients, but he could not find anything special about them. I've tried many times and never succeeded. The Master Wang shook his head. Alright, I'm ready to give it a try. If it's useful, it's fine. Chen Shang put away these fruits and gave them to the Mei Jing sisters so they could grow them. He also warned them not to improve these fruits. At this time, all of Mei Jing's sisters were at the peak of the late stage of 6 God stage. If they could all become overlords, Chen Shang wouldn't need to be afraid even if he met with any late-stage overlord experts. Before Mei Jing's sisters was fully grown, Chen Shang did not start refining. Instead, he left for the original Tao. The Lin clan's position in the original Tao was not low, he had already regained his strength, his cultivation was late period of Taizun realm, and he even possessed the powerful 6 divine weapons. Chen Shang found Lin Jia, who was drinking wine and chatting with Lin Jia. You're so worried, I thought you'd never come back. Lin Jia laughed, if you die inside, I really feel bad. How could I possibly die? I'm really lucky. Chen Shang laughed, Uncle Lin, what good stuff did you and the bat get from inside? Good stuff. This time, there are not many good stuff, they are all law beads S. I have exchanged them for Tao Crystal S. The bats are about the same, but this guy is very powerful. After returning from Myriad Tao Mausoleum, he actually went into closed-door training to break through to the honored ancestor realm. Lin Jia was impressed. I also know if he can succeed. If he succeeds, then I can be considered to have a friend with the cultivation of the ancestor. Bats are so powerful. Chen Shang never thought that Bat Super Venerable, who looked just like a child, would become a revered ancestor upon entering, which made him extremely shocked. I still haven't confirmed whether it will succeed or not. I wish him success. Cheers. After that, he scooped a few bowls with Chen Shang in quick succession. Uncle Lin, do you have any way to return to the world? Back then you came here from Myriad God's Abyss, and I heard that he was able to return to the Tao world. Quote. Chen Shang really wanted to return to the Tao world to take a look. Although it was not the first time he had parted ways with his old friends for so long, it was different this time. Since the Myriad God's Abyss is within the Divine Wasteland, you must first leave the Flying Dragon Pagoda, and then walk a long way to reach there. After arriving at the Myriad God's Abyss, there is no guarantee that you will be able to go to the Tao realm, at the very most, only to the primitive land. If you're going back, I'll go with you. I'm quite familiar with this road. Chen Shang felt that since he had the power of space, returning shouldn't be too troublesome. Alright, wait until I step into the Taizun realm. I'll check on the situation then. Chen Shang planned to return and investigate the situation of the current world. Chen Shang was about to step into the Taizun realm, and yet he was so fast. Lin Jia remembered that when he first saw Chen Shang, Chen Zhang's cultivation was still very low. Okay, just call me when the time comes. Lin Qi nodded. Chen Shang and Lin Qi chatted for more than 2 hours before they finally left the original Tao. Many people already knew about his return. At that time, everyone thought that he had already died and felt that it was quite a pity, especially those who had purchased the herbal tea pill from him. When some people heard the news, they were very disappointed. The Zhao clan who were trained in the art of refining divine sects were one of them. They already knew that Chen Shang had killed Zhao Kungsan, but they did not tell the other party about this matter. Especially when they found out that Chen Shang was brought back by the leader. Chen Shang would not kill Zhao Kungsan for no reason, it must be Zhao Kungsan's fault first. But Zhao clan would definitely not swallow his anger like this. Chen Shang was a thorn in their side, they had to get rid of him no matter what. The fact that Chen Shang had stayed in the divine sects in particular had a huge impact on their business. Chapter 2867. Chen Shang returned to the refining divine sects and asked for Zhao clan's reaction. Access. Although the Zhao clan had lost Zhao Kungsan, they still had many talents. After all, in these 10 years that Chen Shang had not been around, their Zhao clan's business had become even better. The dragon demon outside was still wreaking havoc on the 1,000 floors of Flying Dragon Pagoda. The abyss in the middle of the Dragon Devil Dead Land was extremely strange as dragon demon kept gushing out. Previously, many people thought that those dragon demons were created by the Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable, but now, the Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable was trapped inside the Myriad Dao Mausoleum and couldn't come out at all. These dragon demons evolved very quickly. After taking over the human body, they had the human mind, and became very smart and cunning. They controlled the weak dragon demons that were just born in Dragon Devil Dead Land, and from time to time, they would send these dragon demons to attack humans. When the people of 4 great divine sects went out, they would often be watched by the dragon demons, who knew how those dragon demons knew the whereabouts of the 4 great divine sects' disciples. Especially when there was a large group of disciples who went out together, they would always be besieged by a large number of dragon demons. Dealing with the weak dragon demons was not difficult, but the difficult thing was that the dragon demons could release the poison, so in these past 10 years, Zhao clan's dragon magic danas had been selling extremely passionately, and their prices had risen to 200 million. Now that Chen Shang had returned, the dragon magic dan in the Zhao clan could no longer be sold, and he also had a large number of golden dragon magic herb in the Yuyao Mountain Villa. He sold these golden dragon magic herb to the other forces in the divine sects and quickly earned more than 1 trillion Dao crystal. Now that he already had close to 2 trillion Dao crystal, he didn't know what these Dao crystal were used for. The great clan elder, however, told him that they would definitely be useful in the Myriad Dao Mausoleum. Because of Chen Zhang's interference, the business of the Zhao clan's dragon magic dan was blocked, and they hated Chen Shang even more now. However, they did not make a move, because Chen Shang was the big shot of the divine sects. Together with the great clan elder, they received care of so the Zhao clan did not dare to even touch Chen Shang, otherwise, when the leader gets angry, the Zhao clan would be in deep trouble. Although these fellows from the Zhao clan did not do anything on the surface, it was hard secretly. Before I enter the Taizun realm, I must be careful when I go out. Chen Shang could feel the hatred the Zhao clan had towards him. A month had passed, and the double-colored fruits planted in the Mei Jing sisters had ripened. Chen Shang was already unable to wait and wished to refine them. Is it really that difficult to refine? I must refine it. Quote. Chen Shang took out 3 twin divine fruits, looked at them carefully, and placed them into the Chuangshi God Furnace S. Last time, he used the Chuangshi God Furnace S to defend against attacks that caused them to be injured, but they had already recovered. From the very beginning, Chen Shang had used the flames of divinity to burn those 3 twin divine fruits, whose burning speed was extremely fast. Or perhaps the 3 twin divine fruits seemed to have been released the moment they met the flames, as the 2 mutually exclusive powers within them quickly absorbed the flames and then quickly broke apart. This was Chen Zhang's first time encountering this kind of medicinal material. He only needed to continuously release flames and the medicinal material would absorb the flames and quickly refine itself. To alchemist, this was a very good thing, to be able to complete this stage so easily. But, even though this stage was easy, the rest of the stage was extremely difficult. Chen Shang had used many techniques, but none of them were able to fuse the 6 spirit qi into the 6 medicinal crystals. They were all extremely strong in repelling each other, and even with his spirit refining power, he was still unable to succeed, and had even almost caused an explosion. It shouldn't be a problem with my cultivation level. I will definitely need some skills and techniques. Chen Shang began to think of a way. Master Wang was a Taizun realm cultivator, but he had tried many times but to no avail, so it should have nothing to do with cultivation. Chen Shang was now at the peak of the late stage of 6 God stage, coupled with the spirit refinement stage power unleashed by his strong Dao vein, it was enough for him to refine a middle-grade Taizun Dan. Chen Shang used many of the training methods he was familiar with before to try all of them, but there was no progress at all. While he was trying, the energy within the furnace was constantly being drained. Just the expenditure of a portion of the ingredients announced his failure in refining the Wazun Dan. Comprehension refinement technique. Chen Shang felt that all the techniques in the refinement technique had been comprehended by him to the point where there was no longer any room for growth. However, he still tried to search for it. After a few minutes, he still couldn't find anything. As expected, it's just like the Master Wang, it's really difficult to refine. How on earth can I successfully refine it? Chen Shang took out the ingredients again and tried. He would have to encounter the most critical and difficult point in order to solve the problem. Currently, he only knew that the 6 types of energies were extremely repulsive towards each other, causing him to be unable to fuse them together. Even though he had used many techniques, he was still unable to succeed. However, those 6 types of energies were extremely special. They were not common types of energies. Therefore, he had to figure out why the 6 types of energies repelled each other. What kind of energies were they? Very quickly, he refined a set of medicinal ingredients and infused the 6 types of energy into his body to examine them one by one. This type of energy was very strange. After entering his body, the energy that entered his body would be greatly repelled, causing him to struggle free as soon as it entered. Not even the counter power. Chen Shang tried using the counter power, but to no avail. In the blink of an eye, 3 months had passed. Chen Shang did not make any progress, and so did the great clan elder. Chen Shang had already spent over 100 portions of medicinal ingredients, but fortunately, the Mei Jing sisters grew them quickly so he could afford it. Although he had failed hundreds of times, Chen Shang had still obtained something. At the very least, he knew that the situation of the 6 types of energies was the same as the 6 Yuan God. The reason the 6 Yuan God could not become one with the 6 gods was because, like the 6 types of energy, although it could be forcibly rubbed, it could never fuse together. Once it was released, the 6 Yuan God would immediately split apart. The same was true for the 6 strands of energy from the 3 twin divine fruits. Realizing this point, Chen Shang was sure that as long as he could successfully refine this Huazun Dan, he would be able to enter the Taizun realm. Chen Shang had also told the Mei Jing sisters about what had happened, and he had basically discussed this matter with them every single time. They were also discussing all kinds of possibilities, and it would sometimes be greatly helpful for them to pool their thoughts. I feel like the reason why these 6 medicinal powers can't be combined is due to the lack of a boss. There are some people who are scheming in private, but because they have a leader that they trust, even if they have conflicts, they can put them down and do big things. Jiang Ximei said. Are you saying that these 6 portions of medicinal energy are missing a primer to bring them together? Chen Shang frowned. That's right, we might still be lacking a medicinal ingredient. However, I don't know what medicinal ingredient is lacking. Perhaps it's not a lack of medicinal ingredient, but rather a lack of some kind of energy. Jiang Ximei said. Chapter 2868. Hearing Jiang Ximei's words, Chen Shang also had a direction in which he could go. Although he did not know if he was going the right way, at least he had a way to try it out. He immediately began to think hard, and at the same time, stared at the 3 medicinal ingredients. He used the Dao Heart Eye to examine them carefully, but he did not discover anything new. They lack a type of power that can gather them. What kind of power is this? Chen Shang sat in place and started pondering. I wonder what the effect of eating this fruit will be. Chen Shang did not ask the Master Wang, but after he picked one up and ate it, he closed his eyes to feel the changes of the fruit's power in his body. He used the heavenly alchemy immortal power to digest this energy, which was more beneficial for him to understand the characteristics of this medicine. To understand more about medicinal herbs was also a way to break through. However, it would usually be more difficult. Chen Shang closed his eyes and focused on refining the power of the fruit. This fruit was a golden-purple duo-colored fruit, and after the fruit was refined, the 2 powers immediately separated and swam around Chen Zhang's body. Chen Shang did not refine the 2 medicinal powers into his body, but allowed the medicinal powers to swim in his body, in an attempt to fuse the 2 powers together. The purplish gold medicine had a strong repulsive power. As long as one was at a distance, they would turn around and run away. It was very difficult to combine the 2 together, but after the combination, it was difficult to fuse them. Mother CKER, what do I need to do to allow them to fuse together? Chen Shang cursed in a low voice before he started to think hard about it again. It had been a long time since he last encountered such a difficult pill, and although the process of refining would seem very irritating, it was still viewed by Chen Shang as a form of challenge, an enormous challenge that allowed him to advance by leaps and bounds. Ate a total of no less than 100 of these fruits and conducted all kinds of experiments, which almost exploded within his body. It was extremely dangerous. However, in order to succeed, he could only take the risk. The origins of these medicinal plants are all different. How strange. If their origins are the same, then no matter how mutually exclusive they are, I still have a way to deal with them. Chen Shang thought in his heart. Right now, he understood more and more about these 3 two-colored divine fruits, and he could already clearly see the origin of the 3 two-colored divine fruits. This was actually a different source energy. This was a situation he had never encountered before. Without essence, you create essence for them. Essence is the bridge through which they fuse. Earlier, Mei also said that these medicinal herbs are missing an element of aggregation, but how can one create an element of aggregation for them? Quote. This was something that Chen Shang had been thinking about for the past few days. Creation of essence. Chen Shang suddenly thought of an idea, and that was to create the same origin for the 3 two-colored divine fruits. He asked Zhang Sijing and Zhang Simei if they could change the origin of the 3 two-colored divine fruits to the same, but they all felt that it was impossible. The reason why they could improve the quality of the spirit medicine was all because of the same origin. With regards to this matter, the Mei Jing sisters had no other choice but to try out the method that he thought was possible. Let's see if we can erase their source energy first, and then we can implant the same source energy. Chen Shang placed a purple gold divine fruit into the Chuangshi God Furnace S. After he refined this fruit to a certain degree, he would investigate its origin. After he found its origin, he used his powerful divine sense to accurately control it and pull it out. There were 2 different sources of energy within a single fruit, yet it could produce a single fruit. This was an extremely miraculous thing. After Chen Shang removed the 2 streams of origin energy, the 2 flows of power suddenly underwent a huge change. They were originally purple and gold, but now they suddenly became transparent. This was a very common type of Dao power. The Dao crystal contained a large amount of this pure Dao power. After extracting the origin energy, the medicinal plant became like this. This meant that the various unique effects of the medicinal plant were due to the accumulation of Dao energy under the influence of the origin energy. Now that he had lost his quintessence, the Dao energy that he had gathered had become ordinary Dao energy. Looks like I have to keep my source energy. Chen Shang encountered another problem, which made him feel that it was more reliable to unify the source energy in this direction first. How can I turn 2 or more different sources into the same one? Chen Shang began to think about this problem. Blood is thicker than water. Chen Shang suddenly thought of something. Could it be that I need to use my blood to refine it? Let's give it a try first. Chen Shang immediately tried to refine the origin of his blood into his own and then infused it into his own blood. He had refined his own blood into the 2 different types of origin laws. Soon after, he successfully refined and entered the blood. To him, this was still relatively easy, but the 2 types of source energy were still extremely repulsive. Could it be that I don't have enough blood? Chen Shang then gave out a lot of blood, although this technique was a little masochistic, but luckily he had a strong regeneration ability, so even if he lost a large amount of blood, it was not a big problem for him, because the life qi in his body was releasing a large amount of Dao energy to nourish his body, allowing him to regenerate the blood very quickly. Just like this, Chen Shang continued to bleed non-stop for a good 2 hours before stopping, because he saw that his original purplish gold-colored origin had turned blood red. After it turned blood red, Chen Shang tried to fuse it again. Using the heavenly alchemy immortal power, he quickly completed the fusion process. After so many days of trying, he finally succeeded. Blood refinement art. This method is not something that any alchemist can try. Chen Shang frowned for so many days, and now he finally revealed a smile. Right now he had only successfully fused the 2 elements of expulsion together, and now he had to proceed with 6. He felt that he would definitely succeed, but he needed a lot of blood. After staying in the room for a few months, Chen Shang finally had a new breakthrough. He went outside to take a breath of fresh air, then immediately returned to the house. It's going to cost me a lot of blood. Chen Shang laughed bitterly, then placed all 3 kinds of 2-colored divine fruits into the pill furnace, starting his blood refinement technique. This method worked, but the process definitely wouldn't be that easy. At the same time, I tempered 6 types of essences with blood, connecting them to each other so that they could be fused together. At the same time, I tempered 6 essences with blood, connecting them to each other so that they could be fused together. Chen Shang looked at the hexagonal source energy. Other than the red source energy, the other colors had started to turn red. Previously, He had only been refining 2 types of source energy at the same time, but now it was 6, the difficulty difference was huge. Seeing the change in color, Chen Shang knew that it would work, but it would be more difficult. Chapter 2869. Refining them at the same time was equivalent to connecting the 6 bloodlines together. Although refining them separately also required one's blood, there was no connection between the 3 twin divine fruits. He would have to refine them once more. After bleeding for 2 hours, his source energy had only turned slightly red. To have all of it turn blood red meant that he would have to continue bleeding for a long time. I need to rest. No matter how strong Chen Zhang's regeneration ability was, he could not endure this crazy method of continuously letting the blood flow. He rested for an hour, and after producing a large amount of blood, he started to refine again. His divine sense sea world grew a large amount of medicinal ingredients, and after he absorbed the energy released by the medicinal ingredients, he could also increase his recovery rate. Other than that, there were also various things in his divine sense sea world. These things could continuously release energy, such as the creation god spring, which could ensure his recovery speed. This was a middle-tier Taizun Dan, so refining it would definitely take a long time, especially at the start, where it required the fusion of 6 different types of origin laws and the release of blood. This was something that ordinary alchemists could not do. Chen Shang only managed to make him practice this desperate blood refinement because of his years of accumulated experience. 10 days and 10 nights later, within Chen Zhang's Chuangshi God Furnace, all 6 different types of source energy were finally refined blood red by Chen Shang. This is good. Chen Shang took a deep breath, then used the power of divinity and gathered the 6 origin energies together. After being refined by Chen Shang using the blood refinement art, the different source energy could easily be merged together. Following that, the medicinal qi and medicinal crystals would also be merged quickly. After going through the difficult process before, the remaining was very simple for Chen Shang. Although he was currently very tired, his heart was excited and full of vigor. Because it was for him to eat, he only refined 1 pellet. This way, the quality would be higher. Could it be that just 1 pill is enough for me to step into the Taizun realm? Chen Shang looked at the blood-red ball of extremely enchanting light, and his heart was filled with anticipation. Originally, there were 6 colors in the spirit energy released by the medicine, but because the origin of the medicine had been turned blood red by Chen Shang, it had all turned red right now. The process of condensing the pill was extremely fast. It only took 6 hours. Is this the Wazun Dan? I wonder if it's really effective. Chen Shang looked at the Wazun Dan that was like a ruby. He really hoped that it could let him step into the Taizun realm, but he was also prepared to be disappointed. No one had ever proven the efficacy of such a pill. If I do not succeed, it will only be a wasted time. Isn't it just half a year of time? Chen Shang placed the pellet into his mouth and swallowed it. Inside the Yuyao Mountain Villa, Zhang Ximei and Zhang Sijing both hoped that this pill would allow Chen Shang to step into the Taizun realm. During this period of time, Chen Shang had put in a lot of effort. After eating the Taizun Dan, Chen Shang channeled his medicinal power into the spirit of the Tao gods in the divine sense sea. If he succeeded in stepping into the Taizun realm, the spirit of the Tao gods would undergo a huge change, and he would be able to cultivate the 6 souls. After Chen Shang ate the Wazun Dan, he immediately felt a power that was connected to his blood slowly seeping in. Inside the spirit of the Tao gods, the 6 Yuan god was suddenly enveloped by a blood-red light, and following Chen Zhang's control, the 6 Yuan god gradually gathered together. Before, Chen Shang had to use a lot of effort to fuse the 6 Yuan god. Although it could not be completely compatible with the 6 Yuan god, it was still extremely difficult to knead it. And now, after Chen Shang ate the Wazun Dan, he merely channeled the medicinal power into the spirit of the Tao gods, and the 6 Yuan god inside naturally sucked it in, and gradually merged together. This made Chen Zhang's heart race. This was a pretty good start, which meant that it was possible to successfully fuse the 6 Yuan god. Chen Shang was currently in a very natural state. He did not even need to worry about the 6 Yuan god in the spirit of the Tao gods, as it would naturally and gently fuse with one another. This kind of process was extremely enjoyable for him, causing him to be immersed in an extremely special kind of slumber. He did not know how much time had passed, but when he woke up, he realized that the spirit of the Tao gods had already disappeared. It was actually those 6 beast statue. These beast statue were from the second divine sense sea, but they were from the first divine sense sea. Could this be the 6 souls? Chen Shang was not sure, but he immediately went to look at the second divine sense C, only to find that the second divine sense C had disappeared. The second and first divine sense C have fused. Chen Shang never thought that such a situation would occur. That Wazun Dan was actually so powerful, and directly allowed his first and second divine sense C to fuse together. Although this change had occurred, Chen Shang was still more at ease. Because he had already made a breakthrough, he could feel that the Tao energy he released from the 6 souls was more than 10 times stronger than before. Alright, these beast statues should belong to the extremely special 6 souls. Chen Shang looked at the 6 small beast statue floating above the first divine sense C. These beast statue were extremely huge during the second divine sense C, but in the first divine sense C, they were as small as little birds in the sky. However, this 6 souls was extremely terrifying, and could be released with just his will. After it was released, all of them would become living heavenly beast. Furthermore, these heavenly beasts would not die, at most, they would only be injured. Did you successfully break through? Zhang Sijing felt that Chen Shang had already awoken from his slumber, and immediately asked. I broke through. I'm already at the early stage of the Taizun realm, but I'm still not sure if the Wazun Dan would have such an effect. Chen Shang said, oh right, how long did I sleep after eating the Wazun Dan? 1 month. Zhang Sijing said, elder sister and I are both peak late stage of 6 god stage, you just need to refine one for us. Any one of us can make a breakthrough, as long as one of us makes a breakthrough, then with the cultivation of twin life mysterious techniques, we can help each other out. How amazing, Chen Shang exclaimed. In this way, as long as one of them cultivates, the other one can break through without doing anything and save a lot of time. Alright, then I'll immediately refine a Wazun Dan. Chen Shang said, that's right, help me plant a little more Supreme Blood Coconut. Chapter 2870. The Supreme Blood Yam was a high-grade Supreme God medicine, it was given to Chen Shang by the Master Wang. Although it was a high-grade Supreme God medicine, it was still more expensive, but it was only because it had a long maturity period, that was why this kind of coconut fruit was classified as a high-grade Supreme God medicine. Access. Chen Shang planned to not use his own blood because there would be a large amount of blood inside the blood eagles. That blood was exactly the same as human blood, and it would all be filled with great power. He wanted to try and see if the Wazun Dan that had been refined with the Supreme Blood Coconut could succeed. After making a breakthrough, Chen Zhang's strength had greatly increased, but he was actually very calm right now. He did not think about whether it was because he wanted to see how his strength was, or if he wanted to practice something. He patiently waited for the primordial blood coconut to grow properly. He walked out of the room and breathed in fresh air as he gazed at the tranquil surface of the lake. At this moment, his heart was as tranquil as the surface of the lake. After Master Wang walked out of the house, he saw Chen Shang standing by the lake. Looking at Chen Zhang's back, he felt that Chen Shang seemed to have merged with the calm lake surface, causing him to tremble violently. Chen Shang had broken through to the Taizun realm. Anyone who stepped into the Taizun realm would have to go through a difficult process of becoming one with the 6 gods. Once they crossed this stage and stepped into the Taizun realm, they would be able to easily assimilate into nature. When the Master Wang saw through it, he took a deep breath. He didn't know how Chen Shang broke through, but he was sure that Chen Shang had stepped into the Taizun realm in such a short amount of time. He anxiously went over to Chen Shang and asked, Chen Shang, have you really become the Supreme One? Chen Shang smiled, yes, it is thanks to the medicine that you gave me Master Wang that I was able to refine the Wazun Dan and step into the Taizun realm. Compared to when Chen Shang had stepped into the Taizun realm, the fact that Chen Shang had refined a Wazun Dan made Master Wang even more shocked. You really managed to refine it? Master Wang found it hard to believe. He had tried many times and experienced many years, but to no avail. But Chen Shang had only tried for half a year, and he had already succeeded. That's right, I have mastered the basics. Chen Shang then told the Master Wang about the method to successfully refine the Wazun Dan. After all, this was an ingredient provided by the Master Wang, otherwise he didn't know when he would be able to find a pill that could help him break through. So Chen Shang was very excited about Master Wang. After the Master Wang found out about Chen Zhang's secret technique, he couldn't help but give him a thumbs up. Amazing, in just a few short months, you were able to understand medicine so well, and even find the crux of the problem, admirable. Although Chen Shang had failed many times and also spent a lot of medicinal ingredients, the number of failures of Master Wang and the amount of medicinal ingredients required were no less than Chen Zhang's. That was why he admired Chen Shang so much. At this moment, the Master Wang was already impatient to refine it. He smiled and said, "I will use my own blood to refine it first." Chen Shang was not sure if he would be able to succeed with the Supreme Blood Coconut. He had only told this thought to the Master Wang. The Master Wang did not have Chen Zhang's terrifying regeneration ability, but he was still a supreme pill god after all. He had many good pills in his possession that could help him recover quickly. Chen Shang was already in the Taizun realm, adding all his other methods, his strength was extremely strong. He decided whether or not he should go find Lin Jishan and return to Myriad God's Abyss. "I don't have enough strength, so I won't go for now." Chen Shang suddenly thought of the Flying Dragon Experience Place. It was said that it was difficult for even the late period of Taizun realm to pass through the Flying Dragon Experience Place, but that did not mean that it was impossible for the ancestor to pass at the beginning. Therefore, if he wanted to pass Flying Dragon Experience Place, what he needed to see was not cultivation. Chen Shang decided to try it out now. He would first obtain an even stronger power, and then decide whether or not he wanted to return to natural law world. Since he did not grow the Supreme Blood Lair, it would take at least a month. Chen Shang planned to use this period of time to understand what was happening outside. What he did not expect was that after he had isolated himself for the past few days, the Zhao clan had become more and more hostile towards him, and even the ancestor of the Zhao clan had come out to say that Chen Shang was not a good guest, and hoped that Chen Shang could leave. The meaning of his words was to tell the Heavenly Alchemy sect leader to find Chen Shang and have him talk, so that Chen Shang would leave, or perhaps make Chen Shang less hostile towards them. Chen Shang had been in closed-door training for a long time, and a large number of golden dragon magic herb had matured. However, after walking through a few shops, he surprisingly did not dare to take any of them. They had clearly been threatened by the revered ancestor of the Zhao clan, and even if they hadn't, they were afraid of him, so they didn't dare to go against him. There's actually such a thing. Don't tell me that I have to personally refine the dragon magic dan and sell it. Chen Shang suddenly felt very unhappy. The Zhao clan's dragon magic dan had sold for another 200 million. And following that, Chen Shang also heard a lot of rumors about him in the Zhao clan, saying that he was someone's private child, a spy sent by the Flying Dragon Palace, or someone sent by the 6 divine sects to intentionally cause trouble in the Heavenly Alchemy Divine Sect A. Hearing these rumors, Chen Shang was very angry. Zhao clan using such a despicable method was too shameless. If only Zhao clan had some sort of lecherous little horn, but he, the Zhao clan, had his own ancestor, yet still used such a method. "Alright, you Zhao clan, since the Supreme Blood Coconut is still growing, I will refine some dragon magic dan and consider it my retaliation towards you all." Chen Shang was not afraid of the Zhao clan at all. He immediately returned to the small island in the middle of the lake and went inside to refine dragon magic dan. Now that he was at the Taizun realm, refining dragon magic dan was simply a piece of cake. Furthermore, he could control multiple magic method furnace to refine at the same time. One time he could control 20 magic method furnace, and there were 10 of them in each furnace. He could finish them in half a day. The speed at which the Taizun realm was refining pills was extremely fast. He could refine 400 dragon magic dan in a day, and refine 1,000 in 2.5 days. Chen Shang sold his dragon magic dan. These words quickly spread throughout the entire Heavenly Alchemy Divine Sect. When many people went out to fight with the dragon demons, most of them were reluctant to use dragon magic dan because it was simply too expensive. Furthermore, the effects were not good. And when they found out that Chen Shang had taken action yet again, and was even selling it at 5,000 myriad Dao crystals, many people rushed to buy it from Chen Shang one after another. By the time they arrived, however, they had already sold it all out. With Chen Shang doing this, Zhao clan's dragon magic dan could no longer be sold. That night, Heavenly Alchemy sect leader arrived at the small island in the middle of the lake. "The Heavenly Alchemy sect leader is here. Is it about the Zhao clan?" Chen Shang walked out of the house with a questioning look. Heavenly Alchemy sect leader was already waiting for him in the courtyard. Chapter 2871. Seeing Chen Shang coming out, the Heavenly Alchemy sect leader sat him down. "I already know about your situation. You don't have to worry about the Zhao clan. I will suppress those over there. If Zhao clan dares to act recklessly during this period of time, I will definitely make them suffer." Heavenly Alchemy sect leader's forceful words surprised Chen Shang. He originally thought that Heavenly Alchemy sect leader would be afraid of his ancestor, but now it seemed that his Heavenly Alchemy sect leader was actually prepared to become enemies with his ancestor. Leader, did something happen? Chen Shang asked. He also suddenly had such a feeling. Quote, latest news, there are abnormal situations in the Dragon Devil Dead Land, the number of dragon demons are increasing, strong dragon demons are also like this, and the dragon magic poison on the dragon demon is even stronger, the broken dragon magic Dan in the Zhao clan can't hold on for long, and they are even selling for such a high price. Mentioning this matter, the Heavenly Alchemy sect leader was very angry. This is simply taking advantage of the situation. It's fine if they sell it expensive, but you actually forbid them to sell it. Right now, if I really need dragon magic Dan, even I would have a hard time refining so many. I am willing to provide cheap medicinal ingredients for Heavenly Alchemy Divine Sect's shop. Chen Shang said, they can sell the dragon magic Dan at a price of 50 million or even more. Right now, the problem is that they are afraid of the Zhao clan, so they do not dare to take my medicinal ingredients. Quote, give me the medicinal ingredients, and I'll help you sell them. I want to see if they are afraid of the Zhao clan or me. When the Heavenly Alchemy sect leader found out about what the Zhao clan was doing, he became even more furious. If he did not urgently need power right now, he would definitely find a chance to make a move on the Zhao clan. Chen Shang had given Heavenly Alchemy sect leader a large group of golden dragon magic herbs, and Heavenly Alchemy sect leader was also very surprised that Chen Shang actually had such a large amount of medicinal herbs. Chen Zhang's Yuyao Mountain Villa had a large number of these golden dragon magic herb, and he sold them at the price of 30 million each. He sold them for more than 3,000 and obtained a large number of Dao crystal. There are even more serious situations in the Dragon Devil Dead Land. It's just that we are not certain about them yet. Heavenly Alchemy sect leader said in a serious tone. Previously, Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable was already quite strong, but there seems to be something even more terrifying than Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable. That guy is nurturing a large amount of dragon demons unceasingly. He sent people to the abyss to investigate, but all of them died. They were all from the Taizun realm. Dragon Devil Dead Land had always been a mysterious being, and many years ago, such a powerful being like Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable was already born. Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable was heavily injured and sealed within Dragon Devil Dead Land, but now that Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable had broken through the seal and recovered his injuries, he was even more powerful than before. Could it be that the Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable has another purpose for entering the Myriad Dao Mausoleum? Chen Shang thought about this and asked in shock. Myriad Dao Mausoleum is also very mysterious. Could it be that there is some relationship between Myriad Dao Mausoleum and himself? I don't know. If only Heavenly Alchemy Venerable Ancestor and the others were still alive. Only they knew about this. The Heavenly Alchemy sect leader said. Right now, the only people who are familiar with this matter are the Flying Dragon Palace leader, but this fellow is both righteous and evil, rarely appearing and rarely interfering with the matters of the Flying Dragon Palace. On the other hand, when something happened to Myriad Dao Mausoleum last time, he rushed here in a hurry. He entered the Myriad Dao Mausoleum and wandered around for a bit before returning. The Heavenly Alchemy sect leader said. When he talked about Flying Dragon Palace leader, his expression was complex. It seemed like there was some sort of story between him and the Flying Dragon Palace leader. Wouldn't it be fine if we just go to the Flying Dragon Palace and ask him? Chen Shang said, you should know this Flying Dragon Palace leader. Of course I know him. Speaking of him, he is my ancestor and is my grandfather's brother. Heavenly Alchemy sect leader sighed. But he became enemies with my grandfather back then, and we didn't get back together. Heavenly Alchemy sect leader and Flying Dragon Palace leader actually had this kind of relationship, but Flying Dragon Palace leader didn't seem to have come to find him, which meant that Flying Dragon Palace leader also thought of the same thing and didn't seek revenge on his enemy's descendants. The great clan elder suddenly flew over and said, Leader, Flying Dragon Palace leader is here. Chen Shang and Heavenly Alchemy sect leader revealed an astonished expression. They did not think that Flying Dragon Palace leader would come right at the moment they were talking about the Flying Dragon Palace leader. Ask him to come here. The Heavenly Alchemy sect leader hastily said. The great clan elder immediately left, and before long, Flying Dragon Palace leader came over. He was dressed in black robes and had a hood covering his head, and was a tall and skinny old man with a stern expression. When he came in, he looked at Chen Shang with his sharp eyes. Granduncle. Heavenly Alchemy sect leader politely called out, then invited him to sit. Flying Dragon Palace leader nodded, and waved his hand. I won't be sitting down, I'm just telling you, don't go to Dragon Devil Deadland for this period of time. With your current strength, going there is certain death. If we go and provoke him, and lure him out, we will have no choice but to quickly withdraw from the Flying Dragon Pagoda. Quote. With that, the Flying Dragon Palace leader left. Chen Shang, Great Clan Elder and Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader were all stunned when they heard it. There was truly something terrifying inside the Dragon Devil Deadland. Why is this happening? The Great Clan Elder was frightened. There was actually something that threatened the existence of the Flying Dragon Pagoda. I don't know. Even if I went to chase after him, he wouldn't tell me. My great uncle has this kind of personality. Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader shook his head. Right now, the most important thing for us to do is to stop the demonic dragons from messing around here. Now we have to protect the Flying Dragon Experience Place. According to our investigations, the Draconians aren't going to enter the Flying Dragon Experience Place, they are going to destroy the Flying Dragon Experience Place. I wonder why they are doing this. The Great Elder said. Seems like things are getting more complicated. If I can't stay in the Flying Dragon Pagoda, could it be that I can only go on the road to enter the Myriad Dao Mausoleum? Chen Shang said. The inside of Myriad Dao Mausoleum was also a very large world, it was just that the environment inside was very bad, there were even more strong people, to the weak, it was hard to survive inside. Chen Shang, get ready to enter the Myriad Dao Mausoleum next time. Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader warned. Since Chen Shang was able to enter the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall and pry into its secrets, Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader felt that the secrets hidden inside would allow their Heavenly Refining faction to become even stronger. The Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader didn't want Chen Shang to involve himself in other things, so naturally, he was prepared to enter the Myriad Dao Mausoleum. Chen Shang had just returned from the Myriad Dao Mausoleum, and he was already at the Taizun realm. Alright, when is the next time Myriad Dao Mausoleum opens? Chen Shang asked. According to the information I received, there are still about 9 months left. The Myriad Dao Mausoleum is opening more and more frequently, and this is mainly opened by the Divine Ghost Imperial Country. The Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader patted Chen Zhang's shoulders. Work hard. I'll bring you into the Myriad Dao Mausoleum when the time comes. Chapter 2872. After Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader left, Chen Shang immediately returned to his room to refine Dragon Magic Dan. The Dragon Magic Dan that he refined had been refined using many crashes, so he had given this kind of Dragon Magic Dan to Lin Jishan and the Bat Super Venerable before. Now that such a huge change had occurred in the Dragon Devil Deadland, he was very worried. Therefore, he had to refine a few more high-quality Dragon Magic Dan to protect himself. 1 month had passed and the result of the primordial blood coconut tree in Yuyao Mountain Villa had come to fruition. He was prepared to use the blood in the primordial blood coconut to refine the Wazun Dan. As long as one person from Zhang Sijing's group could step into the Taizun realm, they could use the Twin Life Mysterious technique to synchronize themselves. The blood of the Supreme Blood Yam is truly powerful. This godly fruit is truly strange. Chen Shang exclaimed, the blood within the Supreme Blood Coin is much stronger than the blood of an ordinary late-stage 6 God stage. Chen Shang took a careful look at the blood inside the blood coconut, and realized that there was a lot of blood inside. It was very thick, and he felt that it would only take 10 of the blood coconut to refine one Wazun Dan. Alright, I'll start refining it now. This Supreme Blood Coin is really out of my expectations. Before, Chen Shang also only had the Supreme Blood Coin, so he didn't open it carefully to have a look. Now that the coconut tree had produced so much of the Supreme Blood Coconut, he took a closer look. Chen Shang started to refine the Wazun Dan. This time, the refining process was different from last time, but the difficulty was still the same. He first put all the ingredients into the pill furnace, then opened a piece of the rare blood coconut. He poured the blood from the coconut fruit into the pill furnace, and then guided the blood into the source energy. It had only been a short while, but Chen Shang was already very excited, because this method worked. He saw that the 6 different source energies had all changed, and these changes were all the same as when he used his own blood to refine the pill. Then, he continued to refine according to this rhythm. After 10 days and 10 nights, he successfully refined a Wazun Dan. What he did not expect was that the quality of the ingredients he had refined this time was much better than what he had eaten last time. He immediately handed them over to Zhang Sijing and Zhang Sime. Then, Zhang Sime decided to eat the Wazun Dan. After she ate them, Chen Shang and Zhang Sijing continued to busy themselves with their work. Sijing, if you succeed, you will need to plant more of those supreme blood cores. Chen Shang said, perhaps when the time comes, we will need to help even more late-stage 6 God stages to step into the Taizun realm, or sell some in exchange for Dao Crystal. Chen Shang already had a lot of Dao Crystal, and he did not really flower them, but he still felt that the Dao Crystal was very useful. For example, Divine Ghost Imperial Country often opened the gate of heaven and earth to let outsiders in just to earn a large amount of Dao Crystal. Why does the Divine Ghost Imperial Country need so many Dao Crystal? Although Chen Shang didn't know, he was sure that the Myriad Dao Mausoleum would need a large number of Dao Crystal to do something important. Therefore, he wanted to take this opportunity to earn more Dao Crystal before entering the Myriad Dao Mausoleum. When he walked out of the house, he saw that the Master Wang was also in the courtyard. Master Wang's face was filled with joy, he was in a very good mood. When he saw Chen Shang, he anxiously laughed and said, haha, I have finally succeeded in refining the Wazun Dan. I have not succeeded in refining this kind of pill, it took me many years, I never thought that a brat like you would actually find a way, it is truly admirable. Elder Wang, I've already successfully refined it with the Supreme Blood Coconut. I just don't know how effective it is right now. I've already sent someone to test it. Chen Shang said, I will tell you about it later. Master Wang laughed, alright, I also want to test this Wazun Dan. Although you are able to eat this pill and enter the Taizun realm, if you are you, perhaps other people are different from you. Elder Wang, if this kind of pill can really allow late-stage 6 God stage to easily step into the Taizun realm, then how many Dao Crystals should this type of pill be sold for? Chen Shang asked, if it was really possible, he would definitely use this pill to earn some money. At least 100 billion Dao Crystals. Even though it's very expensive, it's definitely worth this price. Master Wang said, firstly, the effects of this pill are very mysterious. Just by its effects alone, it already far exceeds this price, and many people would definitely be willing to pay such a price for it. Furthermore, the medicinal ingredients used are rare, making it difficult to grow. 100 billion Dao Crystal is only a conservative estimate. If it's an auction, then the price is tisk, they must be higher. The Master Wang said. Really, people in the later stages of 6 God stage were that rich? If they were not so rich, would the people behind them be willing to pay such a heavy price for them? Previously, Chen Zhang's estimation of this kind of pellet was only 10 billion Dao Crystals, he thought that this was the limit of what the later stages of 6 God stage could endure. You don't understand. If you have sons, grandchildren, disciples, and you have a large number of Dao Crystal, are you willing to give up billions of Dao Crystal for them to allow the younger generation to easily step into the Taizun realm? You must know that if you are unable to step into the Taizun realm, you will die of old age after all. This is equivalent to extending your life, and furthermore, you will be able to obtain an even more powerful strength. The Master Wang laughed. Chen Shang felt that it was true too. Although they could sell it, he felt that this kind of miraculous pill would benefit even more people. This way, he could obtain even more Dao Crystal. If it wasn't that easy to get his hands on the ingredients, he would definitely not think like this and would try his best to sell the pill at the highest price. Right now, he had a method to quickly obtain this kind of rare medicinal ingredient, so he felt that he should do something to give more people who have no hope of entering the Taizun realm the chance to consume this pill. Chen Shang told the Master Wang of his thoughts, which the latter listened to, nodding his head and praising, your thoughts are very good, allowing more people to enjoy the mysterious pill you concocted, this is also a kind of Dao pill spirit. If it is really useful, then I have decided to sell the method to refine this kind of pellet and the seed publicly, and promote this kind of Wazun Dan. Chen Shang said. Alright, if you need my help at that time, I am willing to do such a thing for you. The Master Wang said. After finishing the conversation with Chen Shang, Master Wang went to find someone to try out his Wazun Dan. Zhang Sime, who was in the Yuyao mountain villa, still needed a period of time before he could fully display the effects of the Wazun Dan's medicine, but during this period of time, Chen Shang made a trip to the original Dao Gate. He originally wanted to look for Lin Jishan, but he found out that Lin Jishan had already left the original Dao's door. Lin Jishan and Bat Super Venerable's relationship was currently very good and they had been together for a long time. Chen Shang guessed that he should have gone to find Bat Super Venerable. But Bat Super Venerable had said before that he wanted to charge into the Venerable Ancestor realm. Where did Uncle Long go? Chen Shang really wanted to ask Lin Jishan about the myriad gods abyss, even though he had not decided whether or not he should go. Just as he was about to leave the original Tao, he suddenly felt a strong aura approaching him. He was quite familiar with this aura. It's the leader of the 6 great divine sects. Chen Shang was shocked in his heart. What is he doing here? Chapter 2873. Chen Shang guessed that the 6 realms sect leader was here to inform the disciples of the original Tao so that they would pay attention to the Dragon Devil Dead Land. Chen Shang, wait. Just as Chen Shang was about to rush down the mountain, he was suddenly stopped by the 6 realms sect leader. Did not expect that 6 realms sect leader would actually come to call him. He immediately stopped and asked, what is it? Follow me, the 6 realms sect leader said. Following that, he flew in the air. Chen Shang immediately flew up and followed behind him. Chen Shang had guessed wrongly, the 6 realms sect leader had actually come for him. He followed the 6 realms sect leader out of the original Tao's gate and arrived at a barren mountain. 6 realms sect leader, what's the matter? Chen Shang asked in confusion. Yes, do you have a divine equipment with you? This divine equipment is related to the 6 realms magic Kung Fu. 6 realms sect leader asked. That's right. Chen Zhang's 6 realms mirrors was a pretty good divine equipment. It had been by his side for a long time and was very useful. Can I have a look? Then, he took off the bamboo hat on his head. To Chen Zhang's surprise, his appearance was actually very similar to Heavenly Alchemy sect leaders. What is your relationship with the Heavenly Alchemy sect leader? Since Chen Shang did not take out the 6 realms mirrors, he was still a little worried about the 6 realms sect leader. He's my big brother. Our 4 great divine sects are the 4 brothers. 6 realms sect leader laughed. Didn't he tell you? Chen Shang shook his head. Even so, he still did not fully trust 6 realms sect leader. Alright, I'll go look for my elder brother now and have him come over. Sigh, my 6 realms sect leader has also failed. You are a disciple of a sect of the original Tao, but you do not trust my 6 realms sect leader, but trust him. 6 realms sect leader laughed at himself. Chen Shang spread out his hands. Sorry, I have to be on guard against people. I have to be on guard against people. I have been like this before, so I have to be on guard. The 6 realms sect leader was a Tao ancestor, but Chen Shang felt that if he ran, the 6 realms sect leader could not do anything to him. You go back to the Heavenly Alchemy divine sect first, and I'll look for you there. The 6 realms sect leader said. Alright. Chen Shang anxiously returned to the Heavenly Alchemy divine sect. He was already at the early stage of the Taizun realm, so when he used the spatial energy to teleport, he teleported even further, allowing him to quickly return to the Heavenly Alchemy divine sect. He waited in Heavenly Alchemy divine sect for a few days, and Heavenly Alchemy sect leader and 6 realms sect leader finally came. After the 6 realms sect leader arrived, he chuckled and said, now you finally believe me, right? Heavenly Alchemy sect leader also laughed. Chen Shang, just let him take a look at that divine weapon. With me here, he won't take it. Chen Shang took out the 6 realms mirrors and handed it over to the 6 realms sect leader, saying, this is called the 6 realms mirrors. When I obtained it, I also obtained the 6 realms magic Kung Fu from inside. 6 realms sect leader took a look and said with a frown, it is indeed a very powerful divine tool. No wonder when I saw you, I could always faintly feel a unique aura. Then 6 realms sect leader, what do you think of this? Chen Shang asked. The most amazing thing about 6 realms mirrors is that it can replicate all kinds of formations. It's just that while replicating, it requires more Tao energy to maintain it, allowing it to be completed in a short period of time. You probably don't know the more powerful ways to use it yet. 6 realms sect leader chuckled, then returned the 6 realms mirrors to Chen Shang. There were stronger 6 realms mirrors. After Chen Shang received it, she anxiously asked, how do I use it? Heavenly Alchemy sect leader was also very curious as he looked at his younger brother. Have you heard of 6 realms time and space door? The 6 realms sect leader said. Chen Shang shook his head. Heavenly Alchemy sect leader knew about it and immediately replied, I have heard about it. 6 realms time and space door is a very strange place. Legend has it that there's a big door in it. After you grasp it, you can control the 6 paths of samsara, but I do not know what its uses are. By mastering the 6 paths of samsara, one can decide one's life and death, and one can control one's destiny. However, that isn't something which an ordinary person can do. The 6 realms sect leader said, that, 6 Tao's gate, is itself a very strong and independent existence. Humans cannot control it, but we can use it. What are the benefits of using the 6 Dao's Gate? Chen Shang asked. The advantage is that you can use the 6 Dao's Gate to travel to any place, and you can see anyone's fate through the 6 Dao's Gate. Once you know where that person is, you can go there freely. Six Realms sect leader said. However, this still requires a certain amount of spatial force. You should have already cultivated it to the spatial path, so it shouldn't be a problem. Chen Shang looked at the 6 Realms mirrors in his hand and said, "You mean to say, my 6 Realms mirrors can help me enter the 6 Realms time and space door?" "Yes, but you need to cultivate in 6 different types of law bloodlines before you can do that." 6 Realms sect leader asked, "Do you have 6 law beads now?" "No, how could I possibly prepare such a thing at any time?" Chen Shang spread out his hands. "Where can I get them? If you need Dao Crystal S, it won't be a problem, I don't lack any Dao Crystal. I only have 10 pills here. Generally, it requires 100 pills." 6 Realms sect leader took out 10 6 law beads S. 10 is enough. Chen Shang laughed. "I only need to refine it once, I will be refining it now." "That's right, after I have cultivated the power of the 6 laws, how can I enter the 6 Realms time and space door?" Quote. "When the time comes, as long as you are able to comprehend it yourself, you only need to use your 6 Tao principles to activate a sufficiently powerful 6 Realms power." The 6 Realms sect leader said. "Alright, I'll give it a try now." Chen Shang quickly entered the house to refine 6 law beads S. Big brother, if he can enter the 6 Realms time and space door, when the heavenly refining great Tao is unable to hold on, he will be able to enter the 6 Realms time and space door to rest. He will come out after resting. 6 Realms sect leader said. He entered the early stage of the Tai Zun realm so quickly, which is already very impressive, but it is not enough for him to pass the heavenly refining great Tao. I know, I hope he can succeed. Whether or not Flying Dragon Pagoda can be saved all depends on him, so we must help him. Heavenly Alchemy sect leader said. That's right, if Zhao Clan does anything at that time, you can help me out and eliminate all of them. Don't worry, that won't be a problem. I'll go back first. When he succeeds, you can tell me. After 6 Realms sect leader finished, he left in a hurry. Chen Shang, who was refining the 6 law beads, did not know that he was being entrusted with such an important responsibility. Heavenly Alchemy sect leader did not tell him, but she did not want him to feel too pressured because of this. Chapter 2874. When Chen Shang returned to the house, it only took him 1 day to refine all of those law beads. After eating them, he started to cultivate the 6 types of bloodline laws. As long as he had enough law beads, cultivating Dao veins was a very simple task. Chen Zhang's current cultivation speed was extremely fast. On one hand, the law beads that he had refined before had the power to quickly refine them himself. The other thing was that if he used the Heavenly Alchemy Immortal power to refine it, it could be faster. It was always within 3 days that Chen Shang successfully cultivated all 6 types of bloodline. Dao channels are pretty good at cultivation. Now let's see if we can open the 6 Realms time and space door through the 6 Realms mirrors. Chen Shang took out the 6 Realms mirrors and circulated the Dao energy in his body. Dao energy gushed out through his meridians, turned into 6 Realms power, and flowed into the 6 Realms mirrors S. After the 6 Realms power entered the 6 Realms mirrors, the 6 Realms mirrors' mirror immediately released a golden brilliance. Chen Shang looked at the mirror's golden radiance and his eyes flashed. It's just my consciousness entering, that's all. My body is still in the Heavenly Alchemy Divine Sect, could this be the 6 Realms time and space door? Chen Shang looked at the white pearls one by one. He looked at one of them, wanting to use his consciousness to investigate it, but he did not succeed. Now that I have entered the 6 Realms time and space door, how can I find someone's wheel and teleport to that person's side? Chen Zhang's mind thinking about Shui Shenxian, only to see a white bead suddenly flying in front of him. Is this Shenxian's wheel of Ingyan? Chen Shang really wanted to laugh, but he could not see it at all, but he could feel Shui Shenxian's exuberant life force from this wheel. This life force was filled with liveliness and joy. Shui Shenxian was originally a very optimistic and cheerful woman. It seems like she's living a good life now. Chen Shang couldn't help but smile, and then, he grabbed the wheel of Ingyan and tried to sense Shui Shenxian's position. Very quickly, he had a feeling. This feeling was unclear, but he knew that Shui Shenxian's current location was very far away from him. Let's see if we can teleport there. Chen Shang immediately used the power of space and wanted to open a spatial tunnel to go over. He had not succeeded, and he had expended a great deal of spatial energy, so he had no choice but to rest. Looks like I don't have enough strength to open up a spatial passageway and head back. Just now, Chen Shang could feel that his own spatial energy was continuously being transmitted out, and he wanted to pry open a large door. However, after he exhausted all of his strength and before that large door opened, he had no choice but to give up. Chen Shang thought for a moment, then left the Six Realms time and space door. He needed to recover now, the consumption just now was too huge, causing him to be extremely listless. He had to rest for an entire day to recover. He had lost a lot of blood while refining the Wazun Dan, so he didn't need to rest for that long. To teleport across the life wheel was extremely difficult, especially when crossing a world. The consumption was even greater. This time it's in Flying Dragon Pagoda, this should be okay. Chen Shang took out the Six Realms mirrors and entered the Six Realms time and space door. He was already very familiar with it now. He would be able to enter the Six Realms time and space door in a short amount of time and also be able to find the engine wheel that he was looking for. This time he was looking for Lin Jishan. He had previously gone to Yuan Shidao school to look for Lin Jishan, but he did not find him. He did not know where Lin Jishan had gone to, and now he wanted to see if he could teleport to his vicinity. Alright, take a look. Chen Shang took a deep breath, then, with a thought, he channeled a large amount of spatial energy, teleporting himself near Lin Jishan. He could sense Lin Jishan's approximate location through Lin Jishan's Ingyan wheel. This location was not exactly accurate, and would usually not be able to be teleported to that person's side, and would only be nearby. In the blink of an eye, Chen Shang felt that more than half of his power had been used up. At the same time, he appeared on a desolate mountain. He looked around and found that there was no one here. What kind of place is this? Uncle Lin is here. Chen Shang closed his eyes and entered the Six Realms time and space door once again. After confirming Lin Jishan's exact location, he sprinted towards a small mountain, and found that Lin Jishan was right in the direction of the small mountain. Chen Shang arrived near the short mountain and observed around it for a while before he found a cave that was blocked by a large rock. Uncle Lin is inside. Chen Shang immediately teleported. Kai so, there was no need to move the rock. After entering, Chen Shang could already feel Lin Jishan's aura. He quickened his pace and quickly found Lin Jishan. Lin Jishan was currently sleeping soundly on a stone bed, and was not cultivating. Uncle Lin, Chen Shang laughed and shouted, shocking Lin Jishan, who suddenly jumped up. After Lin Jishan sat up, he was extremely alert and almost attacked Chen Shang, but after knowing that it was Chen Shang, he also relaxed. Brat, how did you find me? Lin Jishan was very curious about this. He felt that he had stolen it secretly and no one would know that he was here. It would be alright if beasts from above were to accidentally enter this place, but the one who came was Chen Shang, so he would still come in quietly. This is a unique skill that I've just learned. Chen Shang laughed, impressive. By the way, where is this place? Uncle Lin, why are you hiding here? Quote. You actually don't know this place. So how did you get here? It appeared out of nowhere. Lin Jishan was even more curious. I used teleportation to come here. Of course I don't know what kind of place this is. Chen Shang took out a chair and sat down, then asked, this place is lifeless, what kind of place is this? Why did you come to this place without saying a word? Quote. You don't know, this place is very strange. When I first entered the Yuan Shidao school, one of them brought me here. Lin Jishan said, that Zhuangdi of mine is also a mysterious fellow. He has always believed that there is something hidden in this place. He brought me here several times. He was looking for that thing. I didn't believe it at first, until he was bitten to death by a rat here. I believe there was something really powerful hidden here, and then there was a strange light here, and then overnight the whole area became bare. Quote. After listening to Lin Jishan's story, Chen Shang also felt that it was very strange, and asked, what kind of strength is that? He was actually bitten to death by a mouse. How old is that mouse? Is it poisonous? Lin Jishan shook his head. That mouse is only the size of a palm, it isn't poisonous. That mouse was extremely terrifying. It bit off a piece of my chest and drilled into my body, instantly devouring all of my bones and flesh. My strength is not weak either, he is in the middle stage of the Taizun realm. Quote. Chapter 2875. Chen Shang couldn't believe that a middle-stage Taizun realm could actually be eaten by a palm-sized mouse. Even now, he couldn't believe it was real. Uncle Lin, you are taking too much risk. There is such a powerful mouse here, and you still dare to sleep here. When Chen Shang came in just now, he saw Lin Jia sleeping soundly. The updates were quick. Lin Jexi scratched his head and smiled, I am just a bit tired, but don't worry, there aren't any rats in this area. I've been searching around here for some time. Quote. Lin Jia took out a pearl and said, as long as those mice approach, the pearl will light up. There will also be a lot of noise, and the rats can only move in one area, and once they leave that area, they will immediately die. Quote. Uncle Lin, have you ever seen that kind of rat? Chen Shang also wanted to go take a look. He felt that it wouldn't be that easy for the mouse to eat him. Of course I've seen them before, didn't I? I've searched around here for a while, so I'm sure there's a spirit formation here, and those mice that are sealed within the spirit formation cannot escape. I was almost killed several times within the spirit formation, and those things are really very scary. Lin Jexi said, Chen Shang, you're here now, do you want to come with me to take a look inside the enchantment? Of course you can. Chen Shang was also very curious about the barrier, and hurriedly said, hand it over to me for defense. Bat Super Venerable had previously told Lin Jia that Chen Shang had extremely powerful defensive skills and escaping abilities in the Dragon Devil Dead Land, so Chen Shang suddenly coming here was a good thing for Lin Jia Lai. After Chen Shang and Lin Jia walked out of the cave, they took out the 6 realms mirrors and sat on top of it together. Chen Shang, fly higher. When the time comes, you will know where that region is. Lin Jexi said. It had only been an hour, and he could already see that below him, there was a region that was surrounded by a large number of mountains. If he were to draw a straight line between those mountains, then the outside of this region would be a hexagon. Using the mountain as the starting point to draw formation patterns, this is a very ancient and powerful formation. Chen Shang had some knowledge of array formations. After all, his few women were extremely adept in this area. This area is indeed very strange, especially this spirit formation. It does not restrict anything from entering or exiting from the outside, but it does restrict anything from exiting. Chen Shang said, then controlled the 6 realms mirrors to fly downwards. Lin Jia nodded, there are quite a few of those rats. When I went in, I saw more than 10 of them, and they wanted to attack me as soon as they saw me. I don't know what was in those rats, but my brother had been searching this area for a long time and died without finding anything. The brother that Lin Jia spoke of was a companion that he had good relations with. When he mentioned this matter, he could not help but feel sad. Then did he find out anything about this place? I think he must be hiding something from you. Oh right, where is this place located? Chen Shang asked. Lin Qi said, Flying Dragon Palace is only 3 miles from here, and Flying Dragon Experience Place is also in the vicinity, but this place has always been deathly still, and is known as the Flying Dragon's Death Grounds. Flying Dragon Experience Place and Flying Dragon Palace are rather lively at the edge of the Wyvern Death Zone. Quote. This is Flying Dragon Palace's territory. Chen Shang did not expect him to cross such a long distance in an instant, and arrive here from the refining divine sects. Yes, have you never been here before? Flying Dragon Palace is right around here. I originally wanted to invite Bat over, but he's still in closed-door cultivation, so he came alone. Lin Jexi said. Bat Super Venerable was still in closed-door training to break through the Venerable Ancestor realm. If he successfully made a breakthrough, he might become the most eccentric ancestor in all of history. Chen Shang had already brought Lin Jia into the enchantment, but just as they entered, he felt an ancient qi, accompanied by a warm wind, which was strange and mysterious. This area was still quite large, and there were tens of thousands of mountains here. It was a very important area. The reason why the barrier was able to restrict the strange rats from escaping was because of the powerful barrier created by the formation on the mountain. After Chen Shang entered, he was so careful that he did not dare to come into the mess, as he was afraid that he would destroy the formation of the barrier. Where is the mouse? Chen Shang looked around and asked. There was plenty of light inside. The sunlight was shining everywhere and everything could be seen clearly. However, Chen Shang did not see Lin Zong's terrifying rat. He must be hiding somewhere. If he wants to meet these rats, he'll have to stay here for a while longer. Ever since Lin Jia had entered this area, he had been somewhat nervous and on high alert. That terrifying rat had left behind a very large shadow for him. Chen Shang urged his 6 realms mirrors to move quickly towards the deeper parts of the region. After flying for a while, he suddenly saw a black shadow approaching. Chen Shang had extremely good eyesight. With one glance, he could tell that it was a palm-sized black-colored mouse, no different from a normal mouse, only its face was darker. It appeared. Lin Jia immediately shouted out loudly. He threw out a beam of light from his hand, sending the terrifying rat flying. The terrifying rat's speed was indeed very fast. If it wasn't careful, it would definitely be attacked. His attack speed was very fast. Chen Shang just saw the terrifying rat, and was already sent flying by Lin Qi. He could tell that Lin Jia had a lot of experience dealing with this kind of rats. So powerful, he actually didn't die. Chen Shang felt that Lin Jia village's attack was scary, but he didn't kill the rat when he entered. The rat was sent flying. It whizzed away as it landed on the ground. The speed at which it escaped was very fast. How is it? I'm not lying to you, right? The rats here are like dogs. The moment someone gets near, they will immediately attack. Lin Jia had just finished. The space domain that Chen Shang released immediately sensed that a terrifying rat was quickly approaching and arrived at the bottom of his 6 realms mirrors. The 6 realms mirrors had long released a very strong protective shield, so Chen Shang was not very worried. However, after that terrifying rat jumped up, it unexpectedly produced a very powerful force, charging forward from the 6 realms mirrors' point of view. In just an instant, the 6 realms mirrors was sent flying high into the sky. Luckily Chen Shang was able to stabilize the 6 realms mirrors in time, otherwise, it would have flown even higher. These things are too scary. Chen Shang was also covered in cold sweat. This kind of terrifying rat, its strength was equivalent to a late period of Taizun realm. Chapter 2876. If anyone from the Taizun realm came in, no matter how cautious they were, it was still very difficult to guard against this kind of rat. Before, Chen Shang did not think so, but now, he suddenly admired Lin Jia. The person who was walking in and out of this place was actually still alive. Find a way to catch one. Chen Shang suddenly said. Seeing him being so foolish, Lin Jia was startled. Ghost, this is very dangerous. What do you want this thing for? Lin Jia found it hard to understand, and he didn't want to do that because it was too dangerous. Catch it and take a look. Why is this thing so powerful? Chen Shang said. There must be a reason why this terrifying rat is so powerful. It might even be able to discover something from the inside. Chen Shang laughed. This thing is like a treasure to me. Oh right, Uncle Lin, have you ever killed this kind of rat before? Where is it? It was good enough that he wasn't killed by the rat. He actually wanted to kill the rat. This kind of rat is hard to kill. Lin Qi shook his head. Chen Shang took out the Chuangshi God Furnace. The Chuangshi God Furnace gradually grew larger under his control, then he increased his flying speed. Not long after, he sensed a terrifying rat approaching, so he immediately controlled the Chuangshi God Furnace to fly over and cover the mouse. His speed was still a bit too slow, and the rat dodged him. Chen Shang did not give up and continued to try. With his previous experiences, he was now very cautious of these rats. As long as a mouse approached him, he would immediately use spatial teleportation to avoid their attacks, to avoid being knocked away by the energy. What exactly is hidden inside? There are actually so many terrifying rats guarding it. Chen Shang felt that these mice were here to protect this place. Half a time had passed, and he had tried using the Chuangshi God Furnace many times, but failed to catch a single rat, as he was always a little bit off, and those mice were also unable to attack the 6 realms mirrors. Lin Jia also relaxed when he saw how safe it was on the 6 realms mirrors. It's really hard to catch. Chen Shang took out another one. This was also a divine Dao tool, but it was a bit weaker. The rats here flew around everywhere as the number of them increased. They were all attacking Chen Zhang's 6 realms mirrors. The rats had never seen such an intruder before. If it was before, when he was attacked by so many rats, as long as it was a Taizun realm, he would definitely die. Lin Jia knew that it was very safe above the 6 realms mirrors, but seeing so many rats leaping about, his entire body was covered in cold sweat. If these rats could break through the 6 realms mirrors' defense, he and Chen Shang would probably be eaten alive by these rats. Chen Shang then released his spirit qi and at the same time, controlled the coordination of the Chuangshi God Furnace. It finally worked. Finally, it managed to hold on to a mouse, and after it was captured, the mouse struggled non-stop. Just as it was about to struggle free, Chen Zhang's Chuangshi God Furnace was covered up. Got it, Chen Shang shouted happily, and then, he controlled the Chuangshi God Furnace back to his hands. Lin Jia asked worriedly, is your furnace safe? If they were to run out, we would all be in danger. Quote. Lin Jia did not expect Chen Shang to catch such a terrifying rat. Seeing how the Chuangshi God furnace was shaking uncontrollably, he was worried that the rat would run out of the furnace and bite him to death. Don't worry, my pill furnace is very sturdy. Chen Shang chuckled, then placed both hands on the pill furnaces, releasing an extremely strong divine might fire. He controlled the 6 realms mirrors to fly higher, so that it wouldn't be knocked into the air by the rats below. What are you doing? Lin Jia asked curiously when he saw Chen Shang looking like he was concocting pills. I'm concocting pills, Chen Shang said. Lin Jia was stunned, he never thought that Chen Shang was really concocting pills. Haha, using beasts to concoct pills isn't anything strange, right? Some alchemists like to use beasts to concoct pills, Chen Shang said. But, a terrifying rat is no ordinary beast. When Lin Jia saw the furnace stabilize, he hurriedly asked, is the rat dead? I only made terrifying rats because they weren't ordinary. I wouldn't be bothered if they were normal beasts. Chen Shang laughed, the mouse has already been suppressed by me, it has quieted down a lot, now I will see if I can use fire to refine it. Chen Zhang's flames were still very strong, especially when using the divine flame. It could produce an extremely terrifying heat, as if it could burn anything. This rat is very strange, it can actually absorb fire. As Chen Shang smelted the pill, he observed the terrifying monster rat in the furnace. He had used a very strong divine flame to burn it, but that mouse had absorbed a massive amount of flames. It's not absorbing by itself, but the blood and flesh of a rat. Is it something that can absorb strong flames just by being alive? Chen Shang never thought that such a thing would happen. Although the divine flame was strong, if it was absorbed, it would be troublesome. Continue. After Chen Shang observed carefully, he determined that although this terrifying rat could absorb his divine fire, the speed at which it absorbed it was still relatively slow. As long as he could continuously increase the intensity of the flames to burn, this mouse would definitely not be able to hold on for long. He had to burn it several times before he was able to burn the rat to death. He's finally dead, he's really tenacious. Chen Shang took out the mouse from the Chuangshi God furnace and it unexpectedly turned into a golden light that emitted a strong golden light. Lin Jia also felt that it was very strange, he touched the golden mouse's body in his heart and shouted in shock, this is the myriad Tao's golden body that only exists in the Venerable Ancestor realm. Quote. This rat actually has the myriad Tao's golden body. No wonder it was so powerful, no wonder I couldn't kill it no matter how hard I tried. Chen Shang had also heard about the powerful myriad Tao golden body, he never thought that such a terrifying strong body would appear on a mouse. Chen Shang anxiously threw the rat's corpse into the Chuangshi God furnace and said, let me see if I can refine the pill. Ha. Lin Qi took a deep breath, stepping into the Venerable Ancestor realm, has very high requirements for the body. If I can really refine the pill, it might be able to help the strong. Chen Shang nodded his head, that's right, let's give it a try first. If it's really useful, then we must catch all the rats here. Although they haven't found the thing that was hidden here, Chen Shang had already discovered something of value, and was waiting for him to succeed. Lin Jia was also patiently waiting. He was currently in the late period of Taizun realm, and his flesh body was not strong enough. If he could be like those rats, possessing the myriad Tao's golden body would be much easier for him. After Chen Shang refined it for a while, he frowned and said, the myriad Tao's golden body is not good for incineration. As expected, it is a very strong body, and this will take a very long time. Chapter 2877. A small mouse already possessed the myriad Tao's golden body. To be able to raise such a mouse in such a place, it must be something special. Chen Shang still suspected that someone intentionally placed these mice here to protect this mysterious place. It would be great if I could succeed. After taking this pill, my physical body will definitely improve very quickly. Chen Shang now really hoped that he could become stronger and faster. It was with great difficulty that he managed to create the Huazun Dan, but the Huazun Dan only helped him step into the Taizun realm. Therefore, Chen Shang needed to find another type of pill to quickly become stronger. Have you made any progress? Lin Jishan had always been patiently waiting. After the perspiring Chen Shang opened his eyes, he immediately asked. No, the myriad Tao's golden body is very difficult to burn. I have to burn it to refine it into a pill. Chen Shang sighed, I'll have to wait a little longer. It's only been a day since I started, after a few days, will I be able to move it? Lin Jishan nodded his head, just focus on your pill refining, I'll be fine here. Although Lin Jishan was afraid of those mice, but if they came, he could still hold them off for a while. Alright, Chen Shang then released an even stronger fire of heavenly alchemy power to burn the mouse that had the myriad Dao's body inside the pill furnace. After Chen Shang refined it consecutively for 2 days, he realized that there was still no change to the mouse. This made him want to give up, because it was simply too difficult to burn. We can only look at the Chuangshi God furnace. Chen Shang activated an igniting array inside the Chuangshi God furnace, causing his flames to become even more intense. If he did this, then in order to maintain the operation of the formation, it would consume a lot of his Dao power. Right now, he was in a rather dangerous place, so he hadn't done this before. Now, in order to refine this mouse, he had no choice but to use it, and at the same time, controlled the 6 realms mirrors to fly out of the barrier. Outside the barrier, the terrifying rat would be safer. After leaving the barrier, Chen Shang was even more daring to refine it. After using the fire-supporting array formation of the Chuangshi God furnace, his fire intensity increased by more than 2-fold. After increasing his strength, he could clearly feel some progress. There's movement. Chen Shang burned continuously in this state for 2 days, and finally, he had some progress. This made him very excited. As long as it can be incinerated, there is hope that it can be refined into a pill. Really, Lin Jishan was also happy and shouted. Hee, with this speed, in 10 days, I'll be able to burn that mouse's body. Chen Shang laughed. He had already determined that the igniting array formation inside the Chuangshi God furnace was effective, so he decided to operate it like this. However, the refining speed was still too slow for him. He controlled the 6 realms mirrors to leave this place and return to the cave where Lin Jishan stayed before. After entering the cave, he took out many Dao crystal and placed them inside. In this way, the array formation inside the Chuangshi God furnace would be maintained by the Dao crystal. If he were to use his own power, it would be hard for him to maintain the 6 burning array formations that he had just activated. In addition, he also wanted to place the 6 realms mirrors inside the Chuangshi God furnace, so the 6 realms mirrors could release an even more powerful igniting array. This way, he would be able to burn off the mouse's corpse much faster. This was also the reason why he had to stay away from danger. This way, he would be able to use 6 realms mirrors to help him refine pills. Of course, relying on a few large arrays to refine pills would consume a lot of energy. Fortunately, he had a lot of Dao crystal. With the addition of a few large formations, the flames of Chen Zhang's divine might became even stronger, and the speed of burning also became faster and faster. Within 3 days, the mouse's body was completely burnt and refined. Those large formations had been in operation for 3 days, and had consumed 30 billion Dao crystal. Right now, he already had approximately 2 trillion of them, so these 30 billion Dao crystal were not really too much for him. This is great. I never would have thought that all these formations would be activated so quickly. Chen Shang rarely used those large formations before, because his flames were strong enough. No matter how difficult the medicinal ingredients he encountered were, as long as he had a bit of time, he would be able to handle them. Now that he had met this mouse with the myriad Dao's golden body, he had no choice but to try this kind of formation. He had not expected it to have such a good effect. After the rat's body was burned, it turned into a cloud of mist, which was formed from many tiny golden particles. What surprised Chen Shang the most was that the ball of mist was extremely thick. Could it be that this golden fog is what allowed the mouse to cultivate the myriad Dao's golden body? Although he was separated by a Chuangshi God furnace, when he used his mind to control the ball of mist, he was able to determine that the ball of mist was actually more than 1,000,000 kilograms. Uncle Lin, can you see how heavy this pill furnace is? Chen Shang said. That ball of mist was extremely warm inside the pill furnace. Chen Shang was not worried about anything else happening. Alright, Lin Jishan immediately walked over and picked up the Chuangshi God furnace Chen Shang was carrying, and when he lifted it up, his eyebrows immediately furrowed tightly. At least 10 million pounds. Good God, why is it so heavy? Although Lin Jishan was carrying a heavy pill furnace, he looked to be very relaxed. This kind of weight was nothing for a cultivator like him. This was caused by that mouse being refined. I thought I was mistaken just now, so I let you see it. Chen Shang said. Now I will just have to see if I can refine it into a pill. If I succeed, maybe I can use this mouse's body to help me cultivate the myriad Dao's golden body. Just look at him and you'll know. Lin Jishan said. Chen Shang continued to refine it. He did not consider using crash method, the energy inside was so terrifying, if he were to charge into it, if he did not control it well, the Chuangshi God furnace would definitely be destroyed. Moreover, it would not be easy for him to condense that energy into a pill. Luckily, his 6 realms mirrors was able to help him. There were many large arrays within the 6 realms mirrors, and one of them was the large formation to assist him in condensing pills. It was especially effective against this kind of powerful energy with a single attribute. In the previous refining stage, Chen Shang took 7 days, but the condensing of a core took 8 days. He had spent a total of half a month, which meant that he wanted to wait a long time. I've finally managed to condense a pill, let's call it Jinzun Dan. Chen Shang looked at the golden pellet and laughed, Uncle Lin, I'm just looking. Please watch out for me. Alright, but you have to be careful. This is something made from those mice. Lin Jishan said, his eyes filled with worry. Don't worry, based on my many years of experience, there's nothing wrong with this pill. Chen Shang said as he ate the pellet. Chapter 2878. After eating it, a burst of energy immediately exploded out, causing Chen Zhang's body to abruptly burst out with a burst of golden-colored mist, as his body also expanded a little due to the energy. Seeing this scene, Lin Jishan was so scared that he started to sweat profusely. He was worried that Chen Shang would explode into pieces, so he anxiously walked over to inspect Chen Zhang's body. Don't worry, I'm fine. Chen Shang grinned. Although the situation just now looked terrifying, Chen Shang himself had felt it the most. Although that power suddenly exploded inside his body, it didn't cause him any pain. Instead, it made him feel very comfortable. After Chen Shang consumed it, he felt that the pellet was like an eternal spring that continuously surged with energy. It surged crazily in his limbs and bones, flowed through his entire body, and fused into his body, strengthening his body. After 3 days, Chen Shang was finally able to recover from the swelling. After waking up, he felt that his condition was very good, but what he did not expect was that the 6 souls inside his divine sense had actually grown a lot larger. The 6 souls was originally one of 6 small heavenly beasts, but it had clearly become larger now. He had only eaten 1 Jinzun Dan. How do you feel? Can I cultivate it to the benefit of the myriad Tao's golden body? Lin Jishan asked anxiously. He had been waiting anxiously for the past few days. I feel very good. I am sure that this pill can help people cultivate the myriad Tao's golden body. Chen Shang excitedly told Lin Jishan, but there is a lot to be done. At least 100 of them are needed in order for a person to cultivate the myriad Tao's golden body. 100 pills meant 100 terrifying rats. Are there many rats in that forbidden area? Chen Shang asked, as he understood the situation the best. Many, at least thousands, perhaps even tens of thousands of those rats. Lin Jishan laughed. Let's go, we're going to capture him now. Alright, if the Chuangshi God furnace of Chen Shang could place a large amount of these mice, it would be easy for the Chuangshi God furnace to attack from the outside, but the defense of the inside was extremely strong. Wanting to come out from the inside was not easy. Other than the Chuangshi God furnace, Chen Shang could also lock the rats inside the 6 realms mirrors. The 6 realms mirrors had a few spaces that could store life, and one of them was specially made to hold strong things. Chen Shang and Lin Jishan went back to the enchantment once again, and together they captured the terrifying rats. They planned to use a long time to catch all the rats inside the enchantment. To them, the mice inside were extremely precious medicine. As long as they could catch a large amount of it, they would be able to obtain a great fortune. Chen Shang calculated it and said that if he wanted to refine 100 Jinzun Dan, then he would need 3 trillion Tao crystals. This made him suddenly feel a lot of pressure, and right now, not only did he need to refine 100 Jinzun Dan pills, he also needed to refine 300 Jinzun Dan S for Lin Jishan and the other Meijing sisters S. Then, that would be 9 trillion Tao crystals. I need to go back and earn more Tao crystal. Fortunately, Chen Shang could sell the Wazun Dan now, so the Wazun Dan would definitely be very popular. At that time, he would definitely be able to earn a lot of Tao crystal from them. In the following days, Chen Shang and Lin Jishan were frantically catching rats. If they were to go back and tell others that they had been catching rats for the past few days, others would definitely think that they were joking. If it was true, they too thought that they had gone mad, to actually do such a thing. Unknowingly, about 9 months had passed. Chen Shang felt that it was about time to return to the Heavenly Alchemy Divine Sect. Because it was time for the Myriad Tao Mausoleum to open. He had promised the leader before, and this time he would go in with him. Chen Shang had already captured over 1,000 terrifying rats. These types of rats were all imprisoned in 6 realms mirrors. Even he himself felt that it was a little hairy. If these mice ran out, it would be a disaster. Uncle Lin, I'll come find you after I finish refining this pill. Chen Shang said, refining this kind of pellet requires time and a large number of Dao crystal. I am unable to complete it in a short period of time. Of course I know, as long as you remember, it's fine. I'm also going to the Myriad Dao Mausoleum this time, and I'll get a little more good stuff there. I'll sell you all the Dao crystal that I got. Lin Jishan laughed. He had seen Chen Shang refining Jinzun Dan and he knew that one pellet would consume at least 30 billion Dao crystal. If it was Chen Shang taking all the responsibility of the Dao crystal, it would definitely be unbearable. Lin Jishan himself was too embarrassed to ask Chen Shang to drop so many Dao crystal. Chen Shang used the 6 realms time and space door and brought Lin Jishan back to the Heavenly Alchemy Divine Sect. Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader was already waiting for Chen Shang at the island where the great clan elder resided. Seeing that Chen Shang had returned, he immediately asked, "Have you used the 6 realms time and space door?" "It's been used. Everything was successful." Chen Shang responded. "How is Flying Dragon Experience Place doing now?" "After a few huge battles, I finally managed to push back the dragon demons. However, the situation is still not looking good. It seems like the terrifying thing that is Dragon Devil Deadland will pop out at any time." Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader said, "Let's go, we are heading to Myriad Dao Mausoleum now." This time, the 4 great divine sects still arranged for many people to enter the Myriad Dao Mausoleum to search for treasures. Chen Shang and the Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader were together, walking at the front, and was the first group to enter the Myriad Dao Mausoleum. Being together with Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader, the entire journey went by without a hitch. Very quickly, arrived at Colorful Forest with Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader, then followed him and flew towards the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall. At that time, it will inevitably be a huge battle. Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader's expression was solemn. "The news of you being able to enter the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall has already spread, especially those people from the Purple Blood clan. They will definitely come to take revenge. But you don't have to worry, the leader can stop them." Chen Shang nodded his head. "Leader, after I entered the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall, what kind of good stuff can I get? Even though you all didn't say it, but I feel like you all are facing a great crisis. Are you all betting everything on me now?" Quote, "We don't know what's inside the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall either. In short, it's just our hope." Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader said, "When you walk down the path of the Heavenly Refining, if you are unable to continue, enter the 6 realms time and space door and come out again after recovering. You should be able to reach the end of the path after repeating this way. So that's how it is. However, this would take a long time. Especially in the Heavenly Refining Road, not long after I entered, a lot of time had passed outside. Wouldn't that be the same as losing a lot of time?" When Chen Shang thought of this, he felt a little uncomfortable. If you can reach the end of the path, what's so special about this amount of time? The Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader chuckled. "The Heavenly Refining Great Tao will not disappoint you. You just have to rest assured that you can go." Chapter 2879. The Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader's speed was extremely fast, and he had even taken many shortcuts. Very quickly, he arrived outside the oasis where the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall were. It was just that outside this oasis, Chen Shang could feel many powerful auras coming from the oasis, which made his heart tremble. What a terrifying power, just how many powerful fellows are gathered there. Chen Zhang's heart couldn't help but start to pound. He had rarely felt this kind of fear before. This feeling was as though he would die once he stepped into the oasis. After Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader brought Chen Shang here, he did not immediately enter the oasis either. He also felt the terrifying aura from the oasis. This is trouble. Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader clenched his fists tightly. I never thought that someone of this level would come. What kind of people are they? Chen Shang wiped off his cold sweat and asked. He did not dare enter right now, even though he had many methods, but before that powerful existence, he was still nothing but trash. Divine Ghost Imperial Country's Ghost Marshal, White Bones Imperial's Bone King A also, the Flying Dragon Ghost Realm S of the Flying Dragon Ghost Realm. Other than these, the purple, gold, white and black, powerful elders of the 4 blood clans are also here. The Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader frowned and said, right now they are gathered here, they should be here for you. Chen Shang was also horrified when he heard these names. Then what do we do? Would you like to return it to the king's cage? Chen Shang immediately said, Leader, can you deal with them? No way. Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader shook his head. Even if the leaders of our 4 great divine sects join forces, we can only deal with one of them. Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader sighed. Seems like I can only come next time. They guessed that I would bring you here this time, so they have been waiting here for a long time. What are they waiting for me for? They want to catch me. Chen Shang knew that this was related to him being able to enter the Heavenly Alchemy stone wall. I don't know, but it's not a good thing. For the sake of safety, we can only wait. Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader patted Chen Zhang's shoulders. Let's go back now. Flying Dragon Pagoda was currently facing a crisis, and if this were to drag on, the consequences would definitely become even more serious. Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader obviously wanted to pry into the secrets of the Heavenly Alchemy stone wall sooner so that they could obtain great strength and overcome the crisis Flying Dragon Pagoda was currently facing. Just as Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader was walking back with Chen Shang, he suddenly saw a black shadow flash by. Chen Shang was extremely familiar with this aura. Flying Dragon Palace leader. Chen Shang could not help but shout in shock. You want to go back? Flying Dragon Palace leader looked at Chen Shang, then looked at him and asked. There's nothing we can do. The strong from the Heavenly Alchemy stone wall are all gathered together. I'll bring this kid over. I know very well what the consequences will be. Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader said helplessly. What if I accompany you? Flying Dragon Palace leader looked at the oasis in front of him. However, I have a condition. After this guy enters the Heavenly Alchemy stone wall, he wanted to share the secret he obtained with me, telling me everything inside without reservation. Chen Shang felt that there was no problem with this, and said, but you must also promise me, no matter what, you must not go against me, and must not become my enemy, and even more so, not kill me. Although Flying Dragon Palace leader did not directly do anything fatal to Chen Shang did not have any good impressions towards him. How about establishing a blood contract? The Flying Dragon Palace leader said. All right, Chen Shang readily agreed. He also urgently needed strength right now, mainly because he wanted to get rid of this bastard, Natural Law Divine Lord, so that he could return to Natural Law world as soon as possible. After they had decided on the blood contract, Chen Shang and Flying Dragon Palace leader were extremely relieved. Then, he walked in front, with Chen Shang and Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader following behind him. Wait a minute, if they want to make a move, I will use all my strength to stall them. Then, it will all be up to you. At this time, they had already entered the oasis. Can you? They have so many powerful guys. Chen Shang said, your strength should be on par with the Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable. It's fine to deal with a single Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable, but there are several people there who are as powerful as the Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable. No problem at all, the Flying Dragon Palace leader said, but I'm afraid not many people did it. In the past, the Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable killed all the leaders, but I was the only one who survived. I am still very strong, and after so many years of closed-door cultivation, I have also improved a lot. Quote, the power of the Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable has decreased. This is mainly because he used most of his strength to create the Dragon Demon. Divine Ghost Imperial Country's Ghost Marshal should be here to watch the show. White Bones Imperial's Bone King should be here to help. Purple, gold, white and black, the Blood Tribe should be here to help as well. I can completely suppress them. Quote. This Flying Dragon Palace leader was so scary, Chen Shang was a little suspicious. White Bones Imperial's Bone King will definitely take action. If my guess is not wrong, this fellow should be Natural Law Divine Lord. I have a grudge with him, he will definitely come personally. Chen Shang said, are you really that powerful? I can't tell. Quote. HMPH, Flying Dragon Experience Place has a total of 9 roof, but I can already go to the 7th roof, what do you think? Flying Dragon Palace leader sneered, the guy beside you, he can only go to the 2nd floor. Chen Shang looked at Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader, whose face was also filled with shock. It was very obvious that he was a very powerful existence that was able to go to the 7th heaven stage of the Flying Dragon Experience Place. Great Ancestor, I didn't expect your improvement to be so great. The Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader exclaimed. Sooner or later, the Flying Dragon Pagoda will be destroyed, and the Flying Dragon Experience Place is the most precious thing to the Flying Dragon Pagoda. Before the Flying Dragon Pagoda is destroyed, I must make good use of the Flying Dragon experience place, or else, it will be very difficult to find a place to raise my strength in the future. The Flying Dragon Palace leader said. Leader, what is the concept of Flying Dragon Experience Place's 7th Heaven platform? Chen Shang asked in a low voice. If we're talking about strength, then Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable can go to the 3rd or 4th Heaven stage A. If the White Bones Imperial's 10 Great Bone Kings are like that on the 5th Heaven stage, they are at most number 6. Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader said, do you understand now? Chen Shang never thought that the skinny black-clad old man in front of him would actually contain such a terrifying power within his body. Looks like I can successfully enter the inner part of the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall this time. Chen Shang said, is there really something good inside? There must be, the Myriad Dao Divine Technique is inside. Flying Dragon Palace leader suddenly said. Myriad Dao Divine Technique. Chen Shang had never heard of such a godly skill. The most complete fusion of the 4 great sacred techniques is the Myriad Dao Divine Arts. After learning it, you will be able to integrate and master all the 4 great sacred techniques. The Flying Dragon Palace leader said, and the Heavenly Alchemy is the basic cultivation method of the Myriad Dao's divine arts. Chen Shang suddenly understood why it would be easier for him to learn the other 3 divine arts after learning the Heavenly Alchemy. He had not expected the 4 great mystical arts to be fused into one, but they had been subtly separated. Chapter 2880. Chen Shang felt that the so-called Myriad Dao Divine Technique existed inside the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall, but it would definitely not be easy to obtain it. There is a legend in the Myriad Dao Mausoleum, as long as you cultivate the Myriad Dao's divine arts, you can leave the Myriad Dao Mausoleum. Many of the fellows here are imprisoned in this Myriad Dao Mausoleum, so of course they would want to leave. However, they do not have enough power, and only by cultivating the Myriad Dao divine arts can they break through and obtain the power to leave this place. The Flying Dragon Palace leader said. Many of the people imprisoned in the Myriad Dao Mausoleum were unforgivable evildoers, such as those in the Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable and those in the Natural Law Divine Lord who were unable to leave after entering. The reason the Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable was willing to enter this place was also to make himself stronger. Since this was a world, there were plenty of resources. The biggest benefit for him was that there was still a lot of room for growth. Otherwise, he would be restricted greatly when he was in the Flying Dragon Pagoda. If he wasn't careful, he would still be sealed. If he was, it would take many years for him to come out of the seal. After entering the oasis, he was not far from the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall. Chen Shang started to get nervous, he was going to enter the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall soon. Stepping into the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall would require him to endure a very terrifying power. This kind of power would make him wish he were dead, as if he had been pierced by many burning needles. Are you ready? Flying Dragon Palace leader said, we will go over first. If there's anything wrong, I will immediately start a war with them. Then, you guys can decide for yourselves. Quote. All right, Chen Shang nodded. Granduncle, it's up to you. Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader said, when I send Chen Shang in, you will have to wait here for him to come out safely. Otherwise, even if he can reach the end of the Heavenly Refining Great Tao, if he is not protected after he comes out safely, it will all be for naught. Don't worry, I've already considered everything. Flying Dragon Palace leader sneered, let's go. In the blink of an eye, the Flying Dragon Palace leader had brought Chen Shang and the others to the open space where the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall were. The Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall was still glowing with a gold light, and many of them were still in front of the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall, causing a strong chi force to form there. If the weaker people were unable to resist the chi force, they would not dare to come closer, and if they came closer, they would be covered in cold sweat from fright. Chen Shang is here, a person shouted. No one knew who it was, but with this shout, the atmosphere immediately changed, becoming solemn and murderous. Feeling the killing intent, Chen Shang could not help but be shocked. There were many people here that wanted to kill him, but he did not know why. Flying Dragon Palace leader, Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable growled. It was a tall man dressed in black dragon scale armor. Upon seeing Flying Dragon Palace leader, his face revealed a look of hatred. Flying Dragon Palace leader only scanned the people here, then brought Chen Shang and Heavenly Alchemy Sect leader to the Heavenly Alchemy Stone Wall. Just as they were walking over, a few auras immediately attacked them. At that time, Chen Shang could feel the aura of the Natural Law Divine Lord and he immediately looked towards him. Natural Law Divine Lord was dressed in a white robe, he was a man with a pale face and white hair. When he saw Chen Shang, his eyes flashed with a trace of ruthlessness. What are you guys doing? Flying Dragon Palace leader shouted loudly. His black robe suddenly broke and flashed with several golden lights, each of them transforming into a flying dragon. They flew up high in the sky and turned into hundreds of huge golden dragons, covering the entire oasis's sky. Golden rays of light shot down from the sky as the golden dragon lightning continued to strike down. A rumbling sound was accompanied by waves of majestic dragon roars, shaking the earth until it seemed as if it was about to split open. Under the immense pressure of the dragon, many people felt that their shoulders were too heavy to move. At this time, the Heavenly Alchemy sect leader brought Chen Shang to the front of the Heavenly Alchemy stone wall. Chen Shang immediately activated the Tao energy in his body and released the Heavenly Alchemy Immortal power. After releasing the Heavenly Alchemy Immortal power, the Heavenly Alchemy stone wall had a reaction and immediately sucked Chen Shang into it. After Chen Shang entered the Heavenly Alchemy stone wall, he knew nothing about what was happening outside, and he also knew that time was of the essence. He only spent a short amount of time inside, while many days would have passed outside. Flying Dragon Palace leader and Heavenly Alchemy sect leader will stay outside for a while longer, and the danger will increase. The battle outside must be very intense. It's such a pity that we didn't manage to spectate for a while. Chen Shang did want to see it, but now was not the time. Inside the Heavenly Alchemy stone wall, the Great Way of the Heavenly Refining appeared. After he stepped onto the Great Way of the Heavenly Refining, the power that made him feel fear appeared, and it was as if his body was suddenly struck by a few strong streams of scorching qi. The sudden pressure made him feel as if he was being crushed, and he almost vomited blood. Why is this power getting stronger and stronger? Chen Shang was shocked. He had thought that after raising his strength, he would be able to resist the power of the Great Way of the Heavenly Refining, but who knew that as his cultivation level increased, the power inside would also increase. Although the power of the Great Tao of Heavenly Refining has increased, my strength has increased even more. Chen Shang looked at the endless Great Tao of Heavenly Refinement, and suddenly felt powerless in his heart. He felt that reaching the end was simply too far, and he would need to suffer and suffer the entire way. Thinking of this, he began to feel fear in the depths of his heart. He wanted to retreat. However, in order to obtain the supreme myriad Tao divine arts hidden within, in order to defeat the natural law divine lord, he had to reach the end. Only then could he obtain the divine arts, become stronger, seize control of the natural law world, and return to see his beloved that he had always missed. As long as he thought of the lover that he had respected for many years, Chen Shang was suddenly filled with fighting spirit. Gritting his teeth and rushing forward, in the end, he could not bear the pain and kneeled on the ground, almost falling down. 6 Realms Time and Space Door. Chen Shang took out the 6 Realms Mirrors and let himself enter the 6 Realms Time and Space Door. Even though his mind had only gone in, his physical body outside did not experience any more pain. This surprised him. He did not expect this to be useful. Previously, 6 Realms sect leader was not sure if this would work, but now, he did not expect it to have such a good effect. This way, my body will be able to recover for a period of time. I wonder how much time has passed outside. Even when Chen Shang was inside the 6 Realms Time and Space Door, he did not feel the loss of time. After that, he came out of the 6 Realms Time and Space Door, sprinting on an extremely painful path. After he could not take it anymore, he immediately entered the 6 Realms Time and Space Door to heal his injuries. After repeating this tens of times, he walked on the great path of the Heavenly Refining, and just like that, he passed a long, painful year. The rainbow had always been after the rain, and although it had caused Chen Shang to feel pain all over, he had finally reached the end of the Heavenly Refining Great Tao.